What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Chase, aka CR Media, back again for another episode of Bad Booking. New places, new faces, all of that good stuff. I am here joined with my good friends, the one and only ABJ Anthony Blackwell Jr., Mark Pro Wrestling Kingpin, and Anthony Graves from the Anthony Graves podcast. Gentlemen, how are we doing tonight?
Doing fantastic. The team is almost fully assembled. The only one not here is Raz. He is burying bodies somewhere in the Australian outback tonight, but he is in our spirits. But this is essentially what you're going to see going forward on Bad Booking. Give us time to develop our flow with each other. Give us time to figure this out and get it going. But I think this is going to be really, really good for all of us to team up as content creators and put together this mega powers, this bloodline, this four horsemen, this D-Generation X, whatever you want to call us.
We the ones, bro. We the ones.
We're here. We're doing this. And just remember, we're still better than all of you.
There you go. There you go.
Guys, like I said, new face, Anthony Graves. Sir, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. I'm really happy to be here. I've been watching this show for a minute, and honestly, I'm kind of excited to kind of be in the midst of you guys. Draft. You guys got some really interesting drafts too that happen on this show, so I'm interested just to be a part of it. I'm here for the ride.
That I definitely win every time, but
not a chance. Yeah. ABJ is king of the draft.
Not a chance in hell.
My name is Kingpin, bro. I mean, I'm the king of the draft, bro. Come on.
Self-proclaimed. Self-proclaimed.
Yeah. You gave your own nickname.
Yeah, Kingpin had a real name. He earned the name Kingpin. You didn't earn that. Appreciate everybody joining. Matthew Holland, man, look at that. Says the Musketeers. Like that. Broderick Hall present. Appreciate you, sir. And then Jake the Tribal Chief says, "What's up, ABJ, Chase, Mark, and Graves, gentlemen? We are live. Let's try and break down everywhere where we are live tonight. Of course, we're live on CR Media's YouTube, Facebook, and my Twitch. We're also live on Anthony Blackwell Jr.'s Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. And then Pro Wrestling Kingpin's Twitch, and that's it.
Twitter too.
Twitter. Okay.
Twitter's getting rid of live streaming soon.
Yeah, they are.
Yep. Yeah. I think the max we can stream to is 8. I have no idea as far as the guests go. So, Grace, were you not able to add your stuff in, or?
I logged into it. It says that I had channels added to it. So, okay. I used Restream before, so I have no idea.
Cool. Well,
but that's okay. No big deal.
We'll figure it out as weeks come on. As obviously, if we've got this many people, what we might have to do is we may have to slice. May have to give up. I'm not going to be brokenhearted if I don't broadcast to my Facebook. You know what I mean? So we'll work that out as time goes. But guys, the idea and the aura of this show, this is actually Mark and I's brainchild. Mark and I's brainchild from when Mark and I were doing the Dynamite post show. Because as you guys, for those of you that have stuck around with us for a long time, Mark and I always had a tendency to get a little bit off track on the AEW Dynamite post show. And we would tell ourselves all the time, like, yo, hey, we need to make that other show. And this is it, man. We're on episode 14, guys. I don't feel like we've done 14 episodes. I feel like I lost count. But I went back and double checked today. It has been 14. So very excited. And as this show has evolved, obviously I feel like we couldn't have had this show without ABJ. He brings a certain spunk to it as well. And then now we're adding even more to it by bringing Graves in. So just want to reiterate what ABJ said and how excited we are to get this going.
Yeah. And we're covering the Midwest, we're covering Chicago, we're covering the Northeast, we're covering internationally with Australia. I mean, we got people from all over different parts of the place just putting things together and work really hard in our content. So putting it all in one place, putting it all together is going to be great.
Graves, you're going to have to move to the West Coast, my guy.
Yeah.
I don't know about
that. Only room
you don't even, brother, you don't even have an East Coast grit to you. You've got a sunny boy, like a beautiful Cali smile, man. You'd move to California and you'd fit right in there.
I feel like I got a little bit of everything. Got a little bit of everything, you know.
I mean, that may have been what your mom told you, but
Yeah.
like, see, look at ABJ.
Hey.
ABJ looks like he's been through some shit, so he
Yeah.
belongs on the East Coast. He belongs with those guys over there. You know, you look like
I like a
you're
first
primed for the
settler.
ticket. Yeah.
A first
First
settler.
settler.
You remember? Did you ever see Remember the Titans, Graves?
Yeah. Oh, you're sunshine.
Yep, your sunshine.
I'm sunshine. Okay.
Sunshine.
Alex says I look older now.
Yeah.
Well, it's been so long since Graves has been like going back on live streams, you know. So
That is
he's
true.
It's been
Yeah.
14 years, so he's grown up. You know what
14 years, yeah.
I mean? Yeah. I'm glad he's back. He's on the channel.
Guys, let's kind of break into this. Obviously, it's WrestleMania season. We're gonna talk about our WrestleMania predictions. But before we do, let's kind of talk about a hot topic in wrestling right now. Gambling in pro wrestling.
Yeah. Yeah. So essentially, WWE is trying to convince sports booking apps that they will tighten up their leaks, and if they can prove they can do it, they want to start people betting on predetermined matches, which is insane to me.
No, they can't do it, man. It can happen just for the mere fact of what happens if a match gets scrapped or someone changes. Like, what if you change the competitor? There's just too many different variables that could happen. It cannot work. Leaks within the company as well. Someone who sees a script. There's so many different variables. We're talking. Everyone's gonna get sued if some shit happens.
But if you've been reading the dirt sheets, we essentially knew this entire WrestleMania card for 8 months.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure, exactly. Like you cannot bring, as much as I love pro wrestling, as much as we all love pro wrestling, you can't bet on this shit, man.
But the one thing I will say though is DraftKings already does it. They already have betting on. You can basically bet whether somebody uses a chair or not. You know what I mean?
The prop bets is where it should end. That's it.
Yeah.
But the legit like bookie gambling and stuff like
Who's
that,
gonna
where,
win? Like the actual determination.
Because number one, that's where it gets into uncharted territory. Is just when there's over and unders and all this other stuff, and I agree. Brian Alvarez said it perfectly. He said, "What happens when a part timer like Brock, Cena, or somebody comes in and they say, 'Hey, Cena, we need you to job tonight to Austin Theory,' and Cena goes, 'Yeah, brother, that's not going to work for me,' and they go, 'Cena, we've already called it into the to the gambling facility and to the bookies and everything else. Like it's already happened. Like how much is it going to cost to get you to do this?' Now you're in a bind. Because if you take somebody who's a big personality, which we'll get to that in a little bit, no need to mention any names, but if you get to somebody who's a big personality in professional wrestling, who's very vocal, if you will, if you guys are picking up what I'm putting down, a Second City Saint, if you will, and he gets to the building, you tell him he's about to job to somebody, and he says, 'No, I'm not,' and he walks out because he has no problem doing it because he's done it a bunch of times before, or a Sasha Banks, if you will, what happens?
Agreed, man. There's no way that this can work. Prop bets I get, who takes a bump off the top of the Hell in a Cell, like shit like that, I could see, but actual winners, can't do it, man.
Yeah, it's a lot. I don't know. I don't see it happening.
I don't either, but
I mean, I can see it happening, but I'll never put money on it.
You can't. What's so funny?
Nothing.
Nothing.
So guys, let's
This fucking guy, dude.
that's our one main topic. Gosh, man, seen a bunch of people pile in now. You guys go ahead and say hi to our guests in the chat while I get our next topic going and we get this draft going. Okay.
Yeah, man. Thank you, everyone. I'm not sure exactly what channels you're on, but like I said before, make sure you go and subscribe to every one of the channels. If you're over on the Twitch side watching, check out the other Twitch channels. And if you're on the Facebook side, check out those as well. But yeah, lots of great content. You can see the ads below us. Just type those ads in at those places and go check them out.
What's up, Eric? How you doing, man?
That private chat's the death of us.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So you guys know we love to do these. You guys know we love to do these drafts.
Right.
The final WrestleMania draft. We're gonna do best WrestleMania storylines.
Correction. Our favorite.
Favorite storyline. Yeah.
Favorite.
Yeah. What we think.
People get
are
really
the
upset.
best.
Like, how did you not pick this? It's your favorite. It's not
Yep,
ours.
that's right. That's
Yeah.
right. So I don't think an event like WrestleMania could contain these two. But hey, let's roll with it. Anyways, so I don't remember. Are we keeping track of who won anymore? Because
Who won last week? I don't know. I know 2 weeks ago.
I
It
feel
was
like I
definitely
won.
me. It was definitely me.
ABJ, you
2
always
weeks
feel
ago.
like you won.
I feel like I won.
I think you did win. So we did best WrestleMania stages. You had 33, 19, 30, 26, 09. 33, though, I think you won based off of 33 alone.
Yeah. So
So-
here's what I'll do. As winner, I will defer and draft second. Let the brand new Graves go first.
Okay.
Then we'll do
Oh.
Mark Chase.
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
No, not Mark Chase. Chase Mark.
It's Mark Chase because I won 2 weeks ago. Fuck off.
No, you weren't here last week, bitch. You
I
forfeited.
said 2 weeks ago.
Oh,
2 weeks ago.
you know what? I'm gonna have to. It's gonna go Chase Mark because you weren't here last week.
That's fucking BS.
That's
I'm
punishment for
protesting.
not being here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sorry, I'm getting busy.
Grow
Hey,
up.
now.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, so
Yeah.
now with the addition of Graves, we are only going to switch to a 3-round draft, guys. Okay.
Yep. We're gonna
We'll
switch.
change
To,
the
we're, gonna
strategy
switch to, we're gonna switch to 3 rounds. See how it goes. We may go back to 5 rounds eventually, but just to kind of get a feel of it. So Graves, best WrestleMania storylines and
Favorite.
The draft number 1 overall, at least for me, going off the top of my head, I am gonna go, and I might get flack for this, but I don't care. My favorite as a kid, Kane,
You
Undertaker,
son of a
WrestleMania
bitch.
20.
Who invited this guy?
Immediately comes in and snatches Chase's dreams away.
Marks.
Who invited this guy?
Oh, Marks, yeah.
Because
The WrestleMania
WrestleMania
21 was really good. I was disappointed because Taker showed up, still looking like an American badass. I was really hoping for him to kind of look like, but yeah, I like that. ABJ.
Mine's gonna span a little bit here. It's gonna go between my favorite, probably my 2 favorites growing up. It's gonna go between 2 manias, and it's gonna be the Shawn Michaels obsessed with the dead man storylines. Probably the only one I can think of that continued in back-to-back manias.
Yep. I agree. Actually, if you want to get technical, it continued for
3.
4 manias.
Yeah, that's what I was
4?
going to say. It continued for 4 because you got 27 and 28 with Triple H.
With Triple H.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the end of an era, if you will, the Hell in a Cell match.
I'll just take Shawn Taker if somebody
Yeah,
wants
yeah.
to take Triple H Taker. That's not grouped into it.
All right. So my pick, it's going to be the Boyhood Dream. I fell in love with those vignettes with Jose Lothario and Shawn Michaels. Jose training Shawn for the biggest match of his career, and just going into it, like I said, the Boyhood Dream. It's perfect. It was perfect in every way, shape, or form. The storyline heading into it, the entrance, the Iron Man match, the whole thing, perfect.
There it is.
Well, I'm gonna go Shawn Michaels versus Chris Jericho because
Okay.
Wow.
you guys always take Jericho for me, so I need to defend my Jericho fandom. Number 1, number 2, Graves likes to steal people's picks. All of a sudden, no one invited this guy, and and number 3, Chris Jericho's the greatest of all time. So
And he legit punched Shawn's wife in the face.
he legit pushed around.
That was later down the road, but
Yeah. All right, back to you, Graves. 2nd round pick.
All right, 2nd round pick. I keep thinking of ones, but I know which one I'm gonna pick. I'm gonna go with another Undertaker one, but it's gonna be Undertaker versus CM Punk WrestleMania 29.
Damn.
Okay. I think you just fuck Chase up again. I mean
Well,
Mark up again. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's all right. All right.
Yeah, that's crazy. All right.
Yeah.
Hmm. All right. I'll go classic here. I'll go old school. I probably I could have waited and got this later. But I'll take it now. But I'm gonna go the we just did it on our channel. The explosion the implosion of the Mega Powers. Mega Powers explode. Hogan and Savage. Long term storytelling leads up to a match at WrestleMania 5.
I like it.
I like it. I don't hate it. I don't hate it at all. Um, I've got a lot of different things I could go through here. Um, I'll have some. I'll have a lot of honorable mentions, guys. But one that sticks out to me, and I think not just as a favorite of mine, but also goes all the way across the business. Um, Sean and Austin,
Yeah.
WrestleMania
Yeah.
14, ushering in the Attitude Era. Just that whole thing, the story, Sean's back, the storytelling with that, the original first, meeting with Taker and Kane, but Sean and Austin, WrestleMania 14,
That's a strong one.
DX rated.
I'm gonna stick with the Y2J, and I'm gonna go Y2J versus William Regal
Oh,
for the mere fact that he peed in his tea, and Regal just sells it completely. That was fucking awesome.
Okay.
Leading up to that was just amazing. I love it. WrestleMania
That's crazy.
17.
Interesting.
Yep.
Okay.
Said favorite,
Okay.
not best. Favorite.
Yeah, absolutely. These are favorites. These are all subjective. So, but definitely an interesting choice.
I kind of forgot about that match. Not
Yeah.
gonna lie, because I always get confused because I forget which one RVD wrestled Regal and then Jericho wrestled Regal. I think there's 117 and 118.
Yeah.
The one
forget.
that I just picked was 17.
Yeah. So
Tons of
RVD was
good
18
ones.
then.
Tons of good ones being thrown in the chat right now.
Yeah,
Remember, this is our
definitely.
favorites, not the greatest. So
Yeah.
we're not saying that yours aren't the greatest. We're just going by our favorites. So Graves, your last pick.
For WrestleMania storylines, I gotta go for my last pick, Austin Rock,
Okay. It's a great one.
because you got 15, you have 17, you have 19. I like 19 the best personally.
My
Yeah.
man.
My pick here will probably make me lose this week. Because I don't think this is a very strong pick. But for me, as someone who was out of wrestling for a long time, got back into wrestling, there's a moment that this one is kind of simulates because of the opponent in the match, but it's more modern day wrestling. And it was when I got back into wrestling in this span of making content. It was the only time I remember being as a fan that I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. And the only other time I've seen it since has been Sammy recently, where Sammy just really got the crowd behind him, but it died going into Mania. But that Elimination Chamber, man, when everyone in the world thought Kofi Kingston should have done it, and then the lead up to it, and you have Kofi Mania versus pretty much Daniel Bryan's Yes Movement, and it was insanely powerful. Daniel Bryan in this one being the heel, and Kofi rising and becoming that trios guy who breaks out and becomes a world champion, and it was a really cool moment. Probably not one of the greatest in history. There's a lot that we're missing, but that was good for me. I like that one a lot, and it re-sparked. It made me feel like I was a kid again watching wrestling. Like I remember being like, oh, like legit marking out when like the false finishes and all that stuff. Like it made me feel like I was a kid watching wrestling again. Great moments.
So I think and for those of us that know ABJ, ABJ undersells shit all the time, and that was his way of underselling it. He knows that he won with that pick. He knows.
It's
he
no. There's a lot out there that you guys can say to steal this.
This weird. ABJ does this all the time. This
dude, you can say yes movement, and the yes movement's probably bigger than Kofi Mania because Kofi Mania ended really shitty with him getting squashed by Brock. Like the payoff wasn't there.
Months later.
Yeah. But Kofi was a cool moment. But like the bloodline's still out there. Yes movement's still out there. Immovable object versus is there irresistible forces out there? There's so much there.
Kofi Mania is up there though. Plus you got Shawn and Taker that spanned over 2 Manias, possibly even 4, and then you got that one. So I have no problem picking this one because I can admit that we lost to ABJ this week. So what I'll pick for this one, what I'll pick for my final pick, because it meant a lot to me because Shawn and Hunter were my 2 favorites growing up, bar none. And WrestleMania 18. Triple H coming back from the quad injury and winning the Royal Rumble and then winning the Undisputed Championship from Jericho at WrestleMania 18. So
great. I think your mic's buzzing again.
Yep.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah. He must have turned his volume up really high.
For the final pick, we're going to stay WrestleMania 18. We're going to go Rock and Hogan. That was awesome. Hollywood Hogan coming back after I think like 5-6 years, some shit like that. The Rock was a heel or was he a face? No one knew, but the buildup was absolutely, dare I say, electrifying.
And
that
if you listen to the backstage rumors, this was a moment where they called an audible at WrestleMania in the back and listened to the fans and flipped it to Hogan. I don't personally believe that at all. I think Hogan going in was always going to win this and always was going to find a way to become the babyface in it because Hogan is Hogan. But if you listen to the backstage rumors that they called an audible in the headpiece and said, we're changing this up.
I mean, since we're talking about the audibles, that's a prime example on why they shouldn't be gambling in pro wrestling.
Yeah.
Yep. Hogan lost that match.
So,
well, I mean, lost, but I mean, like going over the way he did, and like the way, and then he came back and he's like, well, you know how we're gonna do this whole NWO thing with WWE, and I have all these guys, and they'll make some money too. Scrap it. I'm going red and yellow. These guys can do it themselves.
Yeah.
You know what? I almost went with instead of Kofi Mania because it also meant a lot to me. I was gonna steal it on Mark and just put because I always put one Jericho in my list. I almost went Jericho Kevin. The best friends.
Oh yeah, that one was on there. Jericho, I think it's Jericho. I think there was like a fatal 4-way. Jericho Snuka.
The legends when he was like legend killing Piper.
Everyone, Piper. Yeah. That was up there for me. But I didn't want to go all Jericho because I do love the Rock and Hogan angle. I thought the storytelling was just amazing.
It's a good pick.
One of the best stories like growing up.
So Kevin and Jericho missed the mark for me. Because WWE fucked them out of the Universal title.
Dude, him putting his finger on the rope is and he just starts killing his finger, like stomping it in the steps and stuff. It's so fucking.
Is there any more buzzing, by the way? Just
no.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I fixed it. I hope.
Cool.
I don't know what's going on.
It got like crazy for a second. There was like bang. It was like
there was 3 microphones that like coming. I have a different like a secondary.
Yeah.
There was 3 of them on.
Yeah.
That's why I went crazy.
Yeah, you got it. You nailed it. It sounded like a bug zapper was going on. Like
all right, Mark. Did you keep track of the draft, buddy?
Just mine.
Oh, just yours. Okay.
Yeah, there was too much to write.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
we'll do it in post.
Yeah, we'll do a post after this, and we'll get a fan vote, and then we'll announce the winner next week on
that'll be the first one I'll clip. I'll clip the result immediately. We'll post it. We'll have everyone post it on their social media to get maximum reach, and then hopefully we'll find a winner.
Yeah, we are gonna get way better. I know on my end at least, I've been really terrible at putting bad booking clips online, but I just did go on my phone and found out how I can get the clips. So
they're all there. They're all there.
I'm back in, boys. Yeah. So a lot. So. I don't want to. We were talking before about a full breakdown of everything that happened this week on Raw and SmackDown. Both shows, they weren't awful, but they're going through the motions to get us to Mania. To me, it seems like they're still trying to put together storylines, and we're 2 weeks away. And these matches should have been done and announced already, and we should have been building the story into them, not announcing them the week before the show. So. Officially, Ray and Dom are still not a match that he finally hit him, but he didn't agree to fighting him at Mania. That's still out there.
Well, I think he did because
he
he
did
said,
agree. He did
said
agree.
Oh, he
you're
did
on.
agree?
Yeah,
He
yeah,
did agree.
Oh,
He
that's
said
right.
he said you're on at WrestleMania.
It's
You're
fine.
right, he
It's
did.
finally official, and that's honestly one of the best storylines in my opinion, just because of what Anthony said. Like, there's so much. Only because of the story, we knew it was coming. Don't get me wrong. I'm saying there's
No,
actually substance to the story.
Yeah,
That's
no,
all I'm saying.
I'm
Everything
sure.
else seems more just putting together, like ABJ said. They're still announcing matches of the card, what's going on. As far as actual story and substance, this is one of the best just because of how long it's been going on.
Interesting.
Do you know who I feel bad for the most right now though?
Who's
Who?
that?
Bobby Lashley.
Oh yeah.
Like,
I think
what
this is a
going
blessing
on
for
with
Bobby
him?
Lashley.
It
I
could
bet
be,
he's like,
but
dude, I am more than happy to wrestle in the Andre Battle Royal now than dealing with Bray Wyatt.
I feel like he could honestly just be slated into Omos and Lesnar, though. You know what I mean? Like, they have a natural story there.
I don't
He
think
is a natural
Omos
story
can.
with both guys.
I think Omos isn't ready for two guys. Like I'm not saying he can't do a triple threat, but I think he's still learning his ropes and his athletics, like where his
Where
limitations
he's
are.
actually at. Yeah, actually.
Yeah.
So,
And then
so
putting him in with
instead of
Lesnar and Brock would be a lot.
so instead of breaking it down, why don't we go through the card and then we'll talk about it.
Yeah, well, let's do
So-
Mania and then we'll end with Dynamite and then stuff like that.
Yep. So that's the yep. The first match on the docket for WrestleMania, Dominic Mysterio versus Rey Mysterio. We're gonna do this clockwise. I'll end. So ABJ, who you got first?
I'm gonna go Dom, and I think before we get to Mania, I think this is gonna turn into a retirement match with Ray handing his mask over at the end of it. Graves.
I'm inclined to agree with you, Blackwell. I kind of think that's exactly what's going to happen. Maybe not. I don't know if the mask part is going to happen. I don't know. I feel like Dom doesn't really need that at this point right now, to be honest with you. The way that his character has been built, I like what he's been able to do. So I'm excited to see this match. I think Dom gets a W.
There is a guy on the WWE community. Well, we just hit 100 messages total in the chat, so thank you guys so much.
Thank
Keep
you
them
guys. You
going.
guys are killing it.
There's a guy named What's a Status, and he makes CAUs and he finds hidden files in the WWE games,
Right.
even to the point where the WWE developers they're adding hitting moves and calling them, we know you're gonna find this, and like leaving him teasers. He found hidden files for the new venue already. I don't think he uploaded it because I think he's being respectful to not ruin the set. But he also found files of Unmasked Ray.
I agree with you. So number one, Graves, I love what you said as well. I love what Dom has been able to do. Prison Dom is absolutely hysterical, but I would like to see him be a more serious role. I do think Dom takes the W, but I don't think it is gonna be a retirement match, but I don't think it's gonna be Ray giving the mask to his son. I think Dom is gonna go a little more hardcore, and I think he's gonna rip it off of him.
Oh yeah, no, I don't. I totally agree. I don't think he's handing it over to his kid
No.
willingly. I think Dom's ripping it off him.
So Rey Mysterio always wanted his son to wear a mask. I think Dom is gonna don the mask after he rips it off his father, and he's gonna start wearing it. That's what I would like to see happen. I'm hoping that happens, and you continue his heel. And I think that would take his heel character to a more serious level as opposed to this Prison Dom character, which is kind of comical.
And I think this is going to be a big night for the Judgment Day, but I also think this is becoming the Judgment Day splitting ways.
Okay. Chase,
Your mic's muted.
we can't hear you.
My bad. So we're gonna call this a clean sweep. Ray has gone on record by saying, he wanted Dom to retire him. And I said no, it was not going to happen when I was talking to when I was doing another show. But supposedly there's been reports released that Ray and Dom are going to work an angle at the Hall of Fame. And I think that's what's going to happen. I think Conan's going to come out and they're going to get through the emotional part of it for the most part. And then right as Ray's about to leave the stage, Hall of Fame night, I think Dom's going to come out and say, there's never been an active wrestler who was inducted into the Hall of Fame. Why do you think you should be any different? and that's when he's going to make Ray put up his career. And afterwards, I think Dom beats him. And I think Dom takes off the mask. I don't know if he'll don the mask, but I do think Ray will or Dom will take off the mask.
Mark brought this up a while back on the show,
Mhm.
and I thought it was dope. Like if he rips it off and it's all like maybe
Just put-
Ray bleeds, and he wears the ripped up mask.
Yep, I'm telling you, man.
I
Think
think
about
he
it.
would just do it. I think he would just do it as his entrance.
You
where
would
Ray's ripped the mask
thrust it
and
up.
then take it off.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you, man, it would thrust his heel. I'm telling you. Put
Yep.
that shit on,
Yeah.
bloodied, ripped up, like fucking Leatherface, bro. Put that shit right on there. Just
Maybe even paint his eyes black.
So next match, we have this weird tag team match, fatal 4-way tag team match. We've got Braun Strowman, Ricochet, Street Profits, Alpha Academy, and the Viking Raiders.
So is this like a number one contenders match, or is this just a showcase of our tag teams? Like that's
No
that's
idea.
just what it is.
No idea, but ABJ, we'll start with you, brother. Give us your prediction.
I couldn't care less. I'm gonna be honest. I don't understand how this is a WrestleMania match. This could happen on Raw, and we would call it a day. But unfortunately, here we are. We're gonna get a number one contenders match, I guess, at Mania. Who cares? Who's in it again?
So I was gonna say, I don't know who this Gonzalez David guy is, man, but he doesn't like anything right now.
That's
love
my
it.
boy. That's my boy.
He's
Go
killing it.
home. Go to sleep.
Yeah, go home. You're
Fuck
drunk.
off.
Braun Strowman, Ricochet, Street Profits, Alpha Academy, Viking Raiders.
Street Profits. I think they're due, especially if maybe it's a number one contenders deal. Street Profits.
I don't even think it is. I think it's literally they're calling it a
Yeah.
tag team showcase.
It's a
showing
showcase
us
match
that we have
Yeah.
tag teams.
That we haven't had in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of in agreement with ABJ here. There's no real story at all. I think it would make more sense if it was a number one contenders match, but it's legit just a showcase match. I'm kind of I'll just agree with ABJ and go Street Profits so they get a WrestleMania win.
Like just like ABJ, I couldn't care less. There is no story, which further, puts my opinion out there that Ray and Dom are the best story going in right now. That's not the bloodline. But I'm gonna be different, and I'm gonna go Braun Strowman and what's his name?
Ricochet.
Ricochet. There we go. I think they're trying to push them together, kind of like the Jerry Show back in the day type deal. So I think they're gonna try to push that tag team just because they don't have nothing to do with either of them. They both don't have anything to do. Street Profits are over. Everyone loves them. I think Braun and Ricochet.
Yeah, so I'm not going to say that it's not a number one contenders match because we don't know. But I mean, I'm sure whoever wins this would show up on Raw or SmackDown and be like, "Hey, we won WrestleMania. We deserve a title shot." But with that being said, I'm looking at these teams. Other than Viking Raiders and Braun Strowman and Ricochet, the other two are on the verge of splitting up. The Street Profits. Everybody's been clamoring for Montez Ford to branch out on his own. I think it's a little bit too early for that. I'm not ready to see that. I hate it when they split up tag teams too early, but what some of you weird people want, some of you weird people will get. And I think you'll get Montez Ford eventually splitting up here very soon. And then also, if you've been watching, Alpha Academy is in trouble because Otis wants to be a part of the male maximum models or whatever the fuck that thing is. So Mark chose the team that I was going to pick, so I'm going to go the other way, and I'm going to pick the Viking Raiders. I think that I think once Triple H kind of gets, we keep saying this, and I've been very critical of old Hunter, but I think once he gets his footing in and kind of gets going, and we're calling WrestleMania his reset. So hopefully after this, you'll see the Viking Raiders be used the way they were supposed to be used. And so hopefully this is a way for them to get back on track. The next match, another weird thrown together match. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Natalia and Shotzi versus Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler versus to be announced and to be announced.
Another who's going to possibly be the number one contenders. I don't see a world where Ronda and Shayna don't win it, and Ronda has another Mania moment.
I'm inclined to agree with Blackwell again.
We might as well sweep this because I'm pretty sure Chase is going to pick it too. But I'm going
I
Ronda.
was gonna say
Yeah.
there's
Who
one
do you
thing that
think
Hunter
Who do you think the mystery people are? Do you think
Not
we have a
Sasha-
surprise? Do you
not
think we have a
Sasha and
surprise
Naomi.
return?
Definitely not Sasha and Naomi.
I wouldn't say then.
I know it was a joke,
Definitely not them.
obviously.
Maybe a NXT call up.
Possibly.
Who just lost the tag titles? I always forget their names. I don't watch NXT.
Caden
Weekly.
Carter and
Kane Carter. Yeah. That's what I'm gonna pick. I'm gonna go an NXT call up. I'm gonna do that one.
Yeah.
I like that.
Wait, is Candice involved in this?
Candice LeRae? No. You think her and
Maybe her and
Carmella?
Carmella or Indy make an
Indy.
appearance. Maybe Carmella and
Chelsea Green.
Long shot. Maybe this is just me as a fandom. Maybe it happens. Maybe it doesn't. They just recently had their baby. Maybe ready to get going again. What if the Iconics show up again?
maybe.
Especially under the Triple H regime. He enjoyed having them around.
Yeah,
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
and they were super entertaining. Should have never have left.
I mean, who doesn't enjoy them around?
But I would be ecstatic for that.
I
So-
love the Iconics. I thought, dude, you
I
give
thought
me
that was a great tag
Iconics.
team.
You give not amazing in the ring,
But
but they can do the
it's
simple
just
stuff
the
to get by,
character.
but they work a
Yeah.
crowd. They work
Yeah.
a crowd. They tell a story.
Yeah.
Our Iconics and Chelsea Green and Iconics versus Chelsea Green and Carmella, sign me up.
I was not going to pick them, and I'm still not going to pick them. But I like Steven Chambers' thought. I wanted to see. I was hoping that it was going to be Ronda and Shayna here at WrestleMania, but it's not. So, God, dude, Jake always says the most out of pocket shit. I swear. As god awful that Ronda Rousey is in the ring, I'll go with Rousey and Shayna Baszler.
I don't
Ronda
think Ronda's
Rousey is
terrible,
not-
is not bad in the ring.
Yeah. Ronda Rousey is not horrible in the ring.
In
She has
ring,
no
she's not bad.
She's not
Her
charismatic.
facial expressions suck, and she can't sell to a crowd.
So this whole idea that Ronda Rousey can't wrestle is just like
It's
mind
asinine.
fuck.
It's
Yeah.
Her
asinine.
first year as a wrestler was unbelievable.
So
I agree. She was unbelievable.
let's all
she,
point it-
She
let's
got
all
it,
point
and
at
she
Jake.
got it quick.
Let's all point at Jake and laugh at him because
He's got a job now. Leave him alone.
We love you, Jake, but this one ain't it.
see, I love it. Intercontinental Championship match. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm super excited. So if I haven't said it enough, I'm going to say it another 100 times. I'm going to be in LA for WrestleMania. I'm so fucking excited. And I am stoked to see this match live. Cannot wait. We're going to see Gunther versus Sheamus versus Drew McIntyre. Sheamus and Gunther tore the house down at Clash at the Castle. And so everybody was clamoring for it to happen. So here we go. ABJ, who you got in this one?
These three are going to absolutely kill each other. This is going to be physical. People are going to leave here bloody and bruised and beat up and red. Sheamus, it's already been said in the chat, but I'm going the same way. Sheamus pins Drew McIntyre, so Gunther still looks strong. And Sheamus is going to secure officially pretty much winning everything he possibly can in this company. And then we probably get Sheamus and Drew build up till SummerSlam. Drew then takes it off of him in SummerSlam. And then I think Gunther goes on to be one of the first challengers for Cody Rhodes.
Interesting.
I wholeheartedly agree.
I
I'm not even going to pick. I'm going to let Mark and Anthony do it because ABJ just stole it.
For sake of this, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm going to change up my pick. Instead of Sheamus pinning Drew, I'm going to go Drew pinning Sheamus, save Gunther, build Drew McIntyre up as Scottish psychopath again. with the Intercontinental Championship and keep people wondering when Sheamus is going to win the Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah, I think Sheamus has his Mania moment, and then I think possibly at SummerSlam, Drew retires Sheamus.
Oh,
Retires.
Yeah,
Wow.
I think Sheamus is on borrowed time with how he came back from that neck injury, and I think he's in amazing shape. I think he realizes he got himself in great shape. He went out on his terms. He went out with a banger after banger after banger his last couple of years, and I think he realizes, you know, I'm going to stay healthy. I'm going to stay in shape, and maybe step away from the ring. After he wins this, what else is there for him to do?
okay.
Then he passes the torch to Drew, which is his buddy, and then Drew can go on and take the work rate title and be a work rate champion like he should have been as the world champion.
Okay. Number one, I want to say bravo to Triple H because look at right now. We're talking about the Intercontinental Championship. It's actually important again. We're excited about a match involving a mid-card championship, a workman's championship. So bravo. I'm going to agree with ABJ. I don't know about the retirement part, but he does make some good points. I'm going to agree with the exact finish. He will pin Drew McIntyre, and just like he said, I think Gunther is going after Cody. I think he's going to be the first one to challenge him as well. So that's a good call by ABJ. I don't know about the retirement though, but you do make a good point.
You know, like I said, I relinquished my pick because I was just going to 100% agree with ABJ. But I did want to just piggyback off of what you said, Mark, about like kudos to Triple H for showcasing. But I mean, if we're going to give Triple H kudos for that, you got to give Triple H kudos for the Braun Strowman Ricochet tag team match, and then the the other the women's tag team match.
So
because
here's where I say right now maybe it looks like shit, but I do think with them not calling it what it is, they're 100% number one contenders because both tag teams are still being defended. But I think this is going to also say like, well, this is what to look forward to after.
Yep.
Chase, in that aspect, yes, I do.
Yep.
I just wish we had a little more story.
Agreed.
A little more of like, which it pretty much essentially is a number one contender. Whoever wins is going to come out and drop a promo the next day or on Friday. We won our, you know, whatever. But yes, kudos to Triple H, you know, establishing this tag team division, bringing it back up a little bit here, as well as, you know, the mid card championships and putting more focus on that instead of just focusing on just the world championship. So definitely.
The next match on the docket, which is another one I'm super excited about. Edge versus Finn Balor to end this Judgment Day feud inside Hell in a Cell. And it looks like we're going to get Demon Finn Balor versus Edge. So, ABJ, who you got?
I'm gonna break some hearts here. Edge goes out on Edge goes down. I think Finn Balor beats Edge.
Wow. I think they end this with Edge getting the W on top with the Hell in a Cell. I mean, if it is the Demon, it may be a little bit different. I might give the Edge a little bit more to Finn Balor, but I think they're going to finish off the Edge saga with the Judgment Day with Edge beating Finn Balor.
I'm going to disagree with you, Graves. I think Demon Finn Balor is going to end this. I think it's the only way. It has to be this way. I don't agree with Edge going over. I think it's going to be a pretty sick match in the Hell in a Cell. Demon Finn Balor, I think this is all tailored for him to take the W over Edge.
So I'm going with Edge because Demon Finn Balor doesn't make sense to win. And I've watched Edge get beat over and over and over and over again by the Judgment Day. I think him and Beth have only won one time.
Yeah, one match
in this whole feud. So I think this is Edge's win, and I could see Edge dipping out sometime fairly soon, but I don't know. It would be really weird to me. I think Finn should win. I just want to put that out there. I think Finn should absolutely win, but I just find it very weird that if Edge doesn't win, and we've watched Edge lose so much, it doesn't seem plausible to me.
Can I address something in the chat quick? Can you pull up Necro Eric's comment?
I was just getting ready to, buddy. So Negro Eric, we have a structure to the show, brother. And I promise you, we are going to talk about some of this stuff, but it's
Yeah,
going to
towards
be
the end
later.
we will sneak in some independent. So, but if just to let you know, my channel I interview tons of independent wrestlers, so I am very well aware of Limitless. I believe Black Label Pro is that still a thing or that ended? Like that was a thing that was gone here and
No,
gone.
they're still going.
Are they really? XPW, who cares? Stardom is doing great stuff. Noah's great. All Japan is doing great. CMML is good stuff in Mexico. I love Beyond. I think Beyond's one of the top independent promotions around.
Yep.
Up in Boston. I consume a lot of independent wrestling. I'm
Yeah,
also
so-
an independent wrestling commentator.
So Negro, like I said, we will get to that towards the end of the show, brother. But ABJ and myself, and of course, if Mark and Graves want to jump in, they can. But you know, Graves and I both dabble quite a bit in independent wrestling. So, the next match on the docket, Becky Lynch, Lita, and Trish Stratus versus Damage Control.
Yeah. I care about this match less than I care about the other two number one contender matches. But everyone's like, why would they do it? Why would they do it? Why would Lita or why would Trish turn on them? I think Trish turns on them. I think that's what happens. And everyone says, why? Because Becky needs to be involved in a storyline leading up to the next major group of pay-per-views. And what better person to get Becky in a storyline would be Trish, and it doesn't involve a world title. And it keeps Becky away from the world title for a while. Keeps her busy, and it keeps her busy with a big name. I think Damage Control takes the titles back here at Mania.
It's a non-title match.
Oh, it's non-title.
Yeah, because I mean, it's
Yuck.
It's a six. It's a
It's a 6-man. Yeah, it's a 6-person match.
Oh, got you. Yeah, she turns on her, and then one of these jabronis who wins the number one contender goes and beats them for the titles.
So, my bad, Graves. Go ahead.
I was just gonna kind of agree with Blackwell with Damage Control winning. I don't really see Becky Lynch, Trish, and Lita winning this. I think Damage Control needs a win here to kind of get them back on the right track because they kind of fell flat. You know, when they came in, I was excited to see what because all three of them together are very interesting, but for some reason they haven't clicked.
Can I pose the question of maybe why people aren't into Damage Control? Damage Control was created, and what was everyone's fantasy booking for Damage Control? They came in and they hurt Banks, and they came in and they attacked Bianca, and the entire time Bianca was teasing she's going to have people to even the odds, and everyone fantasy booked Sasha Banks and Naomi, and they didn't get it, and then Damage Control got other matchups, but they weren't the ones that everyone fantasy booked, and I don't think anyone cared.
I mean, I could definitely see that being like a reason why people were kind of, not really into them. But for me, I thought that, with Bayley kind of being back, I thought she may, beat Bianca at one pay-per-view and then maybe lose the belt back again to Bianca. Just kind of show that they're legit, like a serious group. But I just feel like they don't seem as important as they should be. So beating the two Hall of Famers and Becky Lynch at WrestleMania, I think is going to give them a good boost.
Yeah.
I'm gonna agree with Anthony Graves. I think Damage Control wins dirty. I don't think we get a Trish turn yet, but it will happen maybe the Monday after, in that Monday night crowd. But I think Damage Control needs it. Them breaking up, I think it might be too soon, in my opinion. Their run has been lackluster. I think this pushes them over the edge, beating two Hall of Famers, like you said, something to get them going, something where they can talk about. Because right now they're not getting it done. So I think this happens. I think it's crazy.
That stable's so good. Everyone in that stable's so good.
I agree, but they're not getting it done, and I think something like this, going over two Hall of Famers and beating the women's tag team champions in process, putting them back as number one contenders because they pinned the champions. I think it's something that they need. Maybe not the championships, but going over against Hall of Famers like that and tag team champions, I think it's something that will help them.
All I know is if if we can get past the next women's matchup and Bailey can go for the title next, and if the winner who we think is going to win the Raw Women's title versus Bailey, give me that storyline.
So, couple of things. I think that Damage Control wins. I think they need to win. I think they absolutely positively need to win. And I love this because it proves that Triple H is human, right? Because when Triple H took over creative, man, everybody had a hard on, like just over, like real big. Oh, Hunter's did this and Hunter's doing that. And Hunter's perfect. So much to the point, not that I care, but there was a Booker of the Year award handed out to Tony Khan, and everybody was like, "Oh, that's ridiculous! It should have been given to Hunter." Yeah, because Hunter became the Booker for WWE over halfway into the year, and he definitely should have won. Right? Like, calm down. Let's chill out. Hunter is human. He makes mistakes. Damage Control is one of them. Because while Judgment Day was created under Vince McMahon's creative watch, Damage Control was created under Triple H's. And look what Damage Control has done. Absolutely nothing. I've watched Bailey fight for the women's championship 5, maybe 6 times and lose all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's crazy to me. So Damage Control needs this win. And I don't think I could see Trish or Lita turning heel. I could see Becky turning on one of them before they turn on her. I would like for it to be Lita because we saw Trish and Charlotte do their thing at SummerSlam. I really don't want to see Becky and Trish do it.
I rather Trish than Lita.
Me too.
Really?
Yeah.
But
you'll get a better match out of it. Lita's beat up.
Either way, I don't care. They both can go home for all I care. I think on Monday night we get a new member of Damage Control, and this is my bold prediction, if you will, guys.
Ooh.
The new member of Damage Control, and Anthony Blackwell Jr. might really like this one. Tessa Blanchard.
Oh,
I don't know about that one.
I don't know about that one either.
Why not? Are one of you about to tell me that WWE is not going to touch her because of something that happened, but yet Hulk Hogan is being featured on WWE television all the time?
It's different. It's different.
How's it different?
Unfortunately, it's different. I agree. I think Tessa should be working in professional wrestling, and I think it's crazy she's not. I don't know if Tessa wants there. If she were, she would definitely lean more towards E than AEW. Personally, I would love for Tessa to come out and challenge Charlotte. That's just me, but because if you're going to keep Charlotte a babyface after this, Tessa would be a great heel to work against her. I would love Tessa to come back, but I don't see it. I don't know, man. If it happens, I'll love it. I would absolutely love it.
That's my bold prediction. I like Steven Chambers as well. I could see Kyrie saying coming back to WWE, especially with her contract being up. And we can talk more about that. But like I said, that's one of my bold predictions for the night after WrestleMania. Is somebody being added to Damage Control as a way of kind of to freshen it up and to keep it going to help turn it around.
What if Damage Control, for some strange reason, because storylines don't matter at this point, they jump out Io and they start beating up Io, and Kari and Io team up, and now Bailey and Dakota are a team, and it's no longer a trios, and then you get Kari and Io Sky.
And you add depth. You add depth to that women's tag team division. I would
love it.
Yep. I know you would. I know you would. Anytime we talk about adding depth to a tag team or a trios division,
dude, I'm all for it, bro. Because it sucks, man. I mean, think about it. When we were growing up, what happens? You had all these different teams that could be legitimately champions. At any given time, someone could drop it. You know what I mean?
How dope would it be? We see Kari and Io as tag team champions, 2 Asian women, and then Japanese women, and then you see Asuka possibly later on as your world champion.
The reunited Sky Pirates.
Yeah,
be pretty dope.
The next match, which I'm super, super excited about. Again, the United States Championship match. Austin Theory versus John Cena. ABJ, who you got, brother?
I'm sticking. I think this just my bold prediction without change, but without giving too much away later, but it kind of is. I think this is the only title at WrestleMania this year that does not change hands. I think Austin Theory takes down John Cena.
I think Theory retains. I don't think it's the only championship that is retained, but I do think Cena is gonna take the loss. He's not gonna win championships at this point.
Okay.
God, dude, Graves, I was really excited to have you on here, man, but you are pushing yourself to heel status real quick.
I'm very interested to hear
it's about to be me and Graves having screaming matches at each other. I couldn't imagine. Could you guys imagine Graves screaming at me like me and Mark do?
I've seen Graves upset a couple times. It's pretty awesome.
Could you? I mean, like,
I would never yell at Chase though.
We haven't yelled at each other in like 3 months.
I know that's what I'm saying, but like,
when did you see me yell at somebody, ABJ?
I've never seen you yell, but I've seen you get upset.
Damn it, Chase.
Oh,
yeah.
Is that okay? No. ABJ, I agree with you on this one, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, John Cena. Do I think the video game timing has been amazing? Because, bro, you did not play that storyline in that video game and not become a John Cena fan. Like, just like re-spark your John Cena love and everything that's been going on with the dude. It's gonna be fun. For once, a part-timer comes back at WrestleMania and gets an opportunity. But this is good booking. Theory versus Cena makes sense. It's his hero, the whole nine. I'm excited. I think it's gonna be a really fun match. It's not a match I think we're gonna throw away and we're not gonna talk about. I think it's gonna make some cool moments and cool entrances, and Cena's gonna pose, but I think we're gonna get a torch passing here. What's up, Dean?
I agree.
I agree. I think Theory wins. Watch Cena's last few feuds. He absolutely destroys the person he's facing on the mic. I mean, buries him, and then takes the L in the ring.
Yep,
he did it with Roman. It with Roman. He did it with I have more, but I can't think of any right off the top of my head. But yeah, I like again. I said I'm excited to see it. I think he's going to do wonders for Austin Theory. I think he's going to do for Austin Theory what WWE should have done for him last year, and that's what I think. I think there's no capacity where Cena comes back and wins and keeps that title and it stays full time, unless Cena wants to stay semi full time until SummerSlam and then drop it back to Theory at SummerSlam. That's the only way I could see it working. But other than that, other than that one scenario, I don't see any other scenarios where Cena wins this.
Can I fantasy book post match or possible? Because they said someone's going to be coming back possibly this Mania. Yep. Cena, and so Theory goes out and he's like, I just beat Cena. I beat the greatest of all time. What else can I do now? Starting Monday night, open challenge again, and we get a returning Randy versus Austin Theory.
Supposedly Orton's returning at WrestleMania.
So what if Orton comes down and goes, "Oh, I like it. I once was a legend killer too in my time," and it's almost like the next pedestal for.
So Theory. I see your fantasy booking, and I'm going to raise you. Orton cost Cena the match, and Orton and Cena at SummerSlam one final time. Loser retires.
Okay,
I like that actually. It's pretty good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Next match on the docket. Another match I'm excited for, man. Seth Rollins versus Logan Paul.
They're gonna kill it. We're gonna kill it.
Yeah. What do you think, ABJ?
I think Logan Paul gets a W here. I think Seth gives him the win.
Yep.
I'm going Seth. I want Seth to win, but I think Seth is going to lay down for the. Listen, him losing a crown jewel is different. This is Mania, and I think the celebrities normally go over on Mania, and this is where he goes over.
I agree with ABJ. I think he's finally going to go over. He definitely wasn't going to beat the Tribal Chief, but the man can go, and he's proving that he can belong in the WWE. And I think Seth lays down for him too.
They asked John Morrison on Chris Van Fleet, why do you think Logan Paul's doing so well? He goes, shit. If I got to sit in a ring with Shawn Michaels 4 days a week and learn how to wrestle, I'd be amazing. That everybody would be good at that point. He's like, he's getting one-on-one time with Shawn Michaels multiple days a week. No one ever got that in their business, in their career. That's why the guy's killing it. And he's just a natural athlete. So here's everyone's hate. Like, this is so real quick for everyone who hates the Logan Paul stuff. Logan Paul, regardless of what he's done in the past when he was young and he was a kid and he would film content that was inappropriate, the whole nine. Go back in your brain and become anywhere between 17 years old in your early 20s and just give you a boatload of money. I guarantee you'd be a shithead. Guarantee you would be a shithead. But Logan, I think, has reinvented himself, but also he's proven that he can enter any stratosphere and become one of the top guys in it. He tried boxing, did amazing. Went against real top guys. They told him the whole time he's not worth it. He's not doing it. He's not going to do it. Went the distance with top guys. He entered the content space. He reinvented himself there. His interviews are amazing. He's putting out great content. Like, everything this guy steps into, he puts his all into it, and he's multi-talented. So it makes sense for his character to go in and face top people and squeeze out wins or show he belongs.
Graves, did you give your prediction?
Yeah, I'm going Seth. I get the celebrity, kind of thing for WrestleMania, but I kind of consider Logan Paul part of the roster now. I don't really care about the celebrity thing either. I just think, Seth's been putting over a lot of people lately, Get him this one win. Let him win one feud,
We should have skipped over you.
Oh.
I think Seth gets a new opponent Monday after Raw.
Me too.
My thing was, Graves, I'm messing with you, brother. I
think
was
we're vibing here, right, BJ?
I was literally going to say the exact same thing you did.
Okay.
I watched Seth put over countless people last year. Countless. Cody Riddle, and how many times did Seth win a pay-per-view match or a premium live event match last year? I don't think it was more than 2 guys.
Mm-hmm.
And Seth wrestled at almost every single one of them. I don't think this is good. I don't think this is a good look for Seth. If they have Seth take an L here to Logan Paul, I think Seth needs this win, and I think Seth deserves this win. Logan Paul's impressed us. We're all shocked now. Now it's time for him to get his head stomped into the mat and take a 3 count to Seth Rollins. So
I wouldn't hate it. I wouldn't hate if Seth won, but I just think it's going the other way.
Yeah. Brock Lesnar versus Omos.
I think it's gonna be better than people think. I don't expect a 5-star match. Don't expect them to do crazy high spots, but they're gonna go out and wrestle a big man match. Regardless of what you say is Omos and Bobby Lashley put on a good big man match. Omos and Braun Strowman put a decent big man match on. But you have to watch it in this retrospective. You're watching a guy who's literally 2 huge dudes are gonna go in there and fight each other. It's not gonna be Young Bucks, Kenny Omega flipping around crazy spot. Like, they're gonna go out there and they're gonna put on a physical match. I think it's gonna be better than people anticipate, and I think Omos wins.
I'm gonna agree with you with one part of it. I do think that Omos and Lesnar are gonna surprise a bunch of people. However, I don't like this match because this should have been Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley. They should have finished out their storyline because it legit makes no sense. And the Hurt Business thing, it just kind of feels like a letdown. I'm not going to blame Bray Wyatt either on everything. But to have Bobby Lashley and Bray Wyatt, and now that's not happening now, it just doesn't really make sense. I think Brock Lesnar wins. He's going to F5 Omos, and that's going to be like a big thing for like a WWE highlight.
Oh, he's getting an F5 on
when
Omos.
Lesnar F5'd Omos or whatever. I think they're going to have Lesnar go over.
I don't think Brock and Lesnar, but I don't think Brock and Bobby are done.
Here we go. Go ahead, Mark. I should make Mark go last because Mark's just going to take a giant dump on this.
Yeah.
When Mark's friends come into the chat just to tell us how much he hates big men.
Yeah. But I think Bobby gets involved here.
Shut up, ABJ.
I think he gets
I think,
involved.
Shut
but
the fuck up.
but see, I wouldn't have a problem with Omos winning if that were to be the case. I don't think that's going to be the case, though. I would like that to happen, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Mark, what's your prediction?
You can go ahead. You hit it on the nose.
Before ABJ and Anthony Graves steal my thunder again, this is why I hate going last.
You go first next time.
Omos wins, and the final image you see before they cut away from this match is MVP Bobby Lashley, Omos, and maybe Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander. Maybe not, but the Hurt Business is reformed.
Yep.
I wouldn't mind that. I
Um,
wouldn't mind that at all.
I think it's gonna be a 5-minute match full of finishers, and then a big moment. Like Chase says, I think there's gonna be a new Hurt Business. I don't think it's gonna be reformed. I think there's gonna be an NXT call up, and maybe with Shelton Benjamin as well as what's his name? I'm blanking out right now. Shelton Benjamin and who?
Cedric Alexander.
Cedric Alexander. Yeah. So I think there'll be a new. I think Omos does take the victory, but it's just going to be a 5-minute full of finishers and nonsense. Someone's going to take an F5, maybe 2. He's going to do his little, whatever he calls it, the Great Khali move is basically what I like to call it. So it's all going to be the same shit. Sorry. And yeah, I don't hate big men, but I hate these 2 big men going at it. I think Brock Lesnar can go, but Omos, I'm a big hater.
So, like I said, I think you're gonna get that F5 because they want it to be that special moment, like Hogan slamming Andre, one of those big mecha moments. So, like I said, I am really, really clamoring for that to happen, for the Hurt Business to show up.
I think that's what saves this part of the match, honestly. Like a new Hurt Business is formed. I think that's what saves it, because otherwise I think it's just like I said, it's just gonna be a match full of finishers and German suplexes.
So the question I want to pose before we start giving predictions on this next match, the next match is the Undisputed Tag Team Championships, the Usos versus Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Should this match main event night 1?
It should, but it's not going to.
Correct answer.
I'm in agreement with ABJ.
Correct answer.
I think it should be Asuka main eventing that one.
It's not going to be Asuka.
I know it's not, but I think it should be.
You know it's going to be Rhea. It's
Charlotte.
going to be Rhea and Charlotte.
And I think it's deserved.
Yeah. So what is our predictions, guys? ABJ?
For the tag.
Yep.
And new. Kevin and Sammy do it.
I think that's all that needs to be said, really.
Kevin, even though Kevin hasn't had both world titles, he's held a world title, and the tag would solidify his world title, US, IC, and now tag.
I think it's gonna be new tag team champions.
Good. I was a little worried. I was more worried about Graves than I was you, Mark. And then when you started smirking when Graves because Graves, you said
What?
You said that's
What?
not the only title that doesn't change hands.
There's only one to go now. I think Graves thinks.
But actually, no. There's 3. There's 3 to go. So Graves is not.
Yeah.
Graves
you're
is
right.
not.
You're right. You're right.
And I thought this was the one where Graves was going to be like, nah. So I think the Usos lose, and I think we'll get into it later. But I think Roman takes time off, and it leaves the Usos and Solo around, and I think you start to see a major implosion. I know
question.
ABJ and Mark, I know you guys have talked about the Bloodline being one of those factions that go on for years. It's not going to go on very much longer. It may reform again in a couple of years when you bring in some other, young, hot, Hanoi Samoan studs. But as of right now, it's done. It's over. And this is the beginning of it. Towards the end of night 1, Sammy and Kevin take the tag team titles away from the Usos. And here's what else happens. After this match, Roman looks at both of them and says, "You're pathetic. You couldn't get it done. You're ridiculous." And now what Roman has done in that time by badgering and damn near almost getting physical with the Usos, now Roman has upset his one supporter left, and that was Solo. Now Solo is looking at Roman like he's the enemy.
Yeah. So here's the only difference I would have. Everyone said this should main event. I would actually put this match the same night as the world championship with Roman and Cody, because I think if you give them a whole night, like they do night one, and then they have a whole night where they're not showing up on TV again, and then you expect that bloodline interference, I think Kevin and Sammy taking it to the Usos, and then everything you're saying makes more sense to visually have in your brain to then go into the main event and be like, this is why they didn't come out.
They should 100% open night too.
Yes, I think the bloodline stuff should be all night too, and this is why I think Rhea and Charlotte should be night one.
Yep, I agree, because there has to be a point on night 2 or night 1 where Roman says, "Where's Jimmy?" And Jimmy says, "I'm not coming." And he goes, "Okay, where's Jay?" And Jay says, "I'm not coming." And then he goes, "Okay, well, where is Solo?" And then Solo says, "Sorry, big dog. Like I'm backing my brothers up. I'm not coming. You're all on your own." That's the only way. That's the only way that you need to make me believe that Cody can beat Roman one-on-one, is because Roman has had the help of somebody
the whole time.
Almost the whole time. In this whole 2.5-year run, he's had help from somebody. And if you cut all the legs out from underneath him, that's the only way you can make me believe that Cody is the guy to beat Roman.
Yeah, the only thing that disappoints me is that somehow Solo Sikoa did not get a match on this WrestleMania card, and I understand they don't want him to lose yet, and they don't want him to take a loss at Mania, because they definitely have plans for him, but he just kind of seems like the odd man out here.
So is he not losing to Cody next week on SmackDown?
I think it's gonna be a fuck finish. I don't think he'll take a pin.
I do too.
Yeah. I honestly, going back to Solo, I think Solo could be one of those guys that could possibly take an IC title off somebody later on down the road.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
Raw Women's Championship: Bianca Belair and Asuka.
And new Asuka.
I think it's a sweep. Oh wait,
this is the one I was talking about. I actually think that Bianca Belair
retains.
Interesting. That's the way I'm thinking. I think you had Roman Reigns hold the Universal Championship. I know a lot of people don't like the Universal title. I was very much with them. But having the long championship run really solidified the belt as a world title. And I think Bianca being champion for 365, I say let it continue. Asuka is still going to be Asuka at the end of the day for me. I'm still going to love Asuka, her character and all that. I honestly think that it's not going to hurt Asuka if she loses to Bianca.
I don't think it would hurt her either, be honest with you, and I agree with that. But I think Asuka beating Bianca, and she's going to do it with Mist. And I think Bianca loses her mind. I think she becomes heel. I think we get a character change of Bianca going after Mania.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that one.
I don't know if that's gonna happen, dude.
Mark, who you got?
I got Asuka. Hands down, it's Asuka.
I'm going with Graves here. I'm going with Graves.
I wouldn't hate it either way. Whoever walks out her champion, I'm cool with either one.
Asuka has done nothing to show me or the crowd that she is top tier. I know Hunter loves her, but you know what Hunter loves more? Because Hunter, like I said, I love pissing on everybody's Hunter parties because everybody just thinks Hunter's perfect. But at the end of the day, Hunter learned the business from the big bad, Jack Daddy, Vincent
Jack
Kennedy
Daddy.
McMahon. Yeah.
And as a business move, Bianca's more money as champion than Asuka is. Yeah. She's more marketable.
She's a phenomenal athlete. She is. She's marketable. She's one of the best in the game. She is John Cena. She is Trish Stratus. She is Brock Lesnar. She is She's all that. So there is no reason that I believe that um that Asuka's going to win this. No way. I just
Yeah,
don't
no,
see
I
it.
don't. I don't hate that. I don't hate that take at all. You might have even swayed me. If either one walks out with a champion, I don't care. I like both of them.
Yep.
Same.
So next match, SmackDown Women's Championship, Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley.
And new.
And
Everyone's
And-
hating on this storyline and build up. Yes, it was rushed, but like as soon as Charlotte came back and she came back as a babyface, I was like, oh, something's gonna happen here. And Oscar and then Rhea winning the title and it's a long-term story. Like I was green and you came in and took my NXT title, and you didn't even have to. You just picked on someone who was you bullied me. Now I'm coming to bully you for your title, and it's great storytelling. But
I think
the
it is
problem
too.
is if you're going to have Charlotte there, is Charlotte and Rhea going to be battling from now till next Mania because there's really no one else there for her to really. Because let's be honest, that women's division on SmackDown side, they've had the opportunity to do stuff when Charlotte wasn't there, and nobody stepped up. They couldn't put a storyline together, and nobody showed they deserved that title. And hate her or love her, but Charlotte in a matter of 3 months came back and made that world title feel like a world title again, and never even defended it.
I think you need. I think you need Becky over there.
I do too.
Honestly,
I think you need to put a run on somebody over there who is more believable as a champ. You need to start pushing. If it's Raquel, make Raquel that person. Someone has to step up and show they can be a contender. But if Rhea has that title over there, it ain't going anywhere for a while.
Yep. Yeah, not just the long-term storytelling, but what happened when Charlotte came back? Everybody got mad that she won the title. And ABJ, when that happened, we did one of these shows, and man, you hit the nail right on the head, brother. You all bitched, moaned, and complained because Ronda was boring. She was stupid. She was stale. She was dangerous. She was a botch fest. Blah blah blah. So, what'd you want to happen? You want her to carry the title to WrestleMania to face Rhea?
And also, everyone said Liv is really really good, but we realized that she's not world championship material yet.
Yep. Sometimes wrestling fans just need to chill the fuck out. Just chill.
I agree with that too. I like Charlotte a lot. I think for me, I would have liked it better if it was on maybe a pay-per-view and some kind of match, like maybe like a gimmick of some sort, instead of it just being on SmackDown. I think I would have rathered that a little bit better than just kind of like, boom, title match right now. You know what I mean? But that's like, again, the SmackDown Women's Division, they lost. I mean, obviously Charlotte went on a break. You lost Sasha. You lost Naomi. They didn't have a lot of options, so I get why they did it.
Yeah. And I think Rhea winning that title, I think Rhea needs to do for a title run, especially over on the SmackDown side. Rhea only should be defending that title on major pay-per-views. It shouldn't be defended every on TV. They need to make that title seem like a title again. Hide it from the public, make her a heel. I'm Rhea Ripley. I'm not wrestling on Raw. Backlash. Who cares about Backlash? I'll see you at Summers. Like hold a title away from people.
Yep. Agreed.
Yeah,
if you're gonna start having these mecha superstars, these mecha athletes like Rhea, Bianca, Charlotte in the title picture, start treating them the same way you did Roman, Brock.
Charlotte.
Exactly.
Charlotte didn't defend all the time, and then when she went out and had a pay-per-view match, she was Charlotte Flair and she killed it, regardless of who she was in the ring with.
All right, guys, a silver tuna, the main evento. This one is for all the marbles. What is more important, Roman's 1,000-day title reign, or Cody Rhodes finishing the story?
So before everyone makes their predictions, which we're all probably going to be the same, what is really the likelihood of him actually retaining? Like, does the 1,000 weigh more than Cody?
I don't think it does.
I mean, I'll throw out this scenario, and I heard this on other podcasts and stuff. There are people online that are kind of saying that Cody, since he's come back in WWE, he hasn't had a struggle, meaning he hasn't had a rival that has like pushed him to like a
Seth
certain
Rollins?
limit since he's came back.
Seth
Well,
Rollins?
there
Didn't we?
again.
Because I know where you're going, Graves. Because I
Yeah.
heard that exact same one, and I chuckled at that guy when I heard him say that.
Because of the
heard,
pack thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
when I heard somebody say that, because I don't know, maybe it's a common, but I saw the same video where somebody was like, Cody just hasn't struggled enough, and I laughed at that dude the same way I just laughed when you said it, because that's ignorant to me. Cody had a Hell in a Cell match with a pectoral muscle ripped completely off of his body.
And I think his story as well already suits it enough.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
at least, a lot of a thing would be if Roman retained and have Cody go to SummerSlam. I don't really like that line of thinking at all. I think you have the story finished at WrestleMania.
Yep.
But I will say this. When there have been times where people have thought Roman Reigns was going to lose the title, WWE have pulled the rug on us. Because everybody thought Drew McIntyre hit that Claymore, we were going to have a new champion.
There's a big difference between hope and there's a big difference between thinking. I knew damn well in my heart of hearts that Roman was going to win. But God, dude, I mean, I was on the edge of my seat hoping that Drew would win, But I see what you're saying. Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do think there could be a small chance of that, but I don't think really if that were to happen, I feel like it would be disappointing.
So I'm never going to be one of those wrestling fans that's like, I'm going to stop watching. But I will say that because of this content creation, because of this journey that I've been on, that I have been a lot more invested in WWE. And I was a lot more invested in WWE when Triple H came. I have no problem taking a step back because it's fucking boring. It's boring. 2.5 years of the same shit. I said it last week. I'll say it again. Had it not been for Sami Zayn, it would be boring as fuck. And all you people standing here going, oh, we the one. Somebody asked me on a show I was on last week, who's the best heel? Who's the greatest heel? Roman or MJF? I said, are you fucking kidding me? Roman's not a heel. Roman hasn't been a heel. When Roman, raise your eyebrow all you want, dude. When Roman gets on the microphone and goes, St. Louis, acknowledge me, and the crowd erupts, you're not a fucking heel, dude.
MJF gets more of a babyface pop than he does a heel pop.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, I have to agree with Blackwell a little bit there.
There was at times where he did, but he does not. He does not.
Bro,
he still gets it now
MJF,
too.
Dude.
When they threw him out there, as a tweener, I will admit to you, there was weeks where he did. But MJF,
he's still getting cheered. People find him entertaining and find he's Piper.
People still love MJF.
People love to hate him. There's a humongous difference.
But the Sammy thing turned Roman into they were chanting "fuck you, Roman"
with Sammy. That's it. We are having this conversation, Blackwell, because there are people on the internet. There are fans on the internet that are going, Cody really shouldn't win at WrestleMania because Roman's 1,000-day reign is actually more important.
Like, yeah, I don't agree with that.
Are you fucking out of your mind?
Yeah,
bro, it's 2023. It's not 1983. We do not need 1,000-day championship runs anymore. It's wild to me. Okay? 1983, they ran one show a fucking month, maybe ran 3 pay-per-views a year. If pay-per-view wasn't even a fucking thing, okay? In 1983. We now run 3 shows a week. We run 2 premium live events a month.
He's talking like a Memphis guy over here.
Like, dude, this is insane.
Here in the North, we like our long title reigns.
Well, you keep your long title reigns in the North.
I like long title reigns.
I do too. I gotta say, I've enjoyed his run. And the reason I'll say this too is why I've enjoyed.
What have you enjoyed about his run?
His character work. Would you rather Roman Reigns be this Roman Reigns or what we got 5 years ago?
Okay, now let me counter that question. Let me counter that question again, Anthony. Does Roman Reigns need the title to be this great character?
The
Did he
tribal
need to
chief,
keep
yes.
it? Did he need to keep it for 990 something
Yes.
days?
Yes.
No, I don't think he needed to carry it 900 and something
Yeah.
days. But
Straight?
I mean,
I mean, I would have been cool with him losing it for a few months, winning it back.
when
Something.
when the company has released so many people though over the span of his title run with the budget cuts, there was nobody that could actually really beat him. Because I honestly think this is my
Who?
thinking as well.
So again,
Okay.
Graves. I'm not picking on you, buddy. I just
No, no.
I hate this because there's so many holes in this theory. You said budget cuts. Who got budget cut? Who got budget cut after Roman squashed him?
Bray.
Bray didn't get budget cut. Bray got budget cut because he couldn't come to terms with their story.
Well, you said
Because he wanted to tell a story and they didn't. So
I'm not sure who you're talking about.
Who got,
Strowman?
yeah, who got who you
Strowman?
no, you said because of budget cuts.
Yeah.
So I'm asking who got cut that Roman has.
No, I
fought?
think he said
No, no,
during
no.
budget cuts they didn't have really anyone to possibly put it on. Here's my deal. I would have loved for
Edge?
Kevin. I would have loved
Daniel
for Kevin to be
Bryan?
the guy to beat him.
Kevin?
Well, that's what I'm saying though, is that with this title run itself with Roman, I think the end goal was to solidify him up there with the likes of Cena, Austin, and all of them. But whoever beats Roman is the top guy. You know what I mean? Like that
Yeah.
new guy, whether if it was Cesaro, you know what I mean? Like that kind of level that never held the world title yet. If you
Yeah.
hold that title, you beat Roman, you are now in that position where you are the top guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
and-
now
and-
my problem with that is if Cody doesn't keep that title for at least 300 days, Cody's title run looks like shit.
No,
yeah,
I
Not
think
necessarily.
I think I'm gonna agree with Anthony Graves on this one. So
I know, 'cause you're a big Roman Mark. So
No, first of all, I hated Roman Reigns up until the Tribal Chief, so calm down. Number two,
you and everybody else.
there was nobody established enough to be the champion. Yeah,
there
that's right.
was
There wasn't because no one gave a fuck. Yeah, until Triple H took over. Yeah, I'm going there. No one gave a fuck about the mid cards. No one gave a fuck about establishing one. All they cared about was pushing Roman. So there was nobody there that could have the character work or the type of promos that they were having with Paul Heyman. There was nobody there. Yeah, go ahead with your little face. All right, there was nobody there that could be the guy. There was nobody there that was going to do it. No one was given the opportunity to shine as much as Roman Reigns at that
So
point. to
before
make sense as
Chase loses
champion.
this, I will say
Yeah,
I think there
right.
is a handful of
Lose
people.
my fucking mind.
There is a
Are
handful
you
of people
out of
who
your
Let
fucking
ABG
mind,
fade.
dude?
Hold on.
Relax, dude.
there is a handful of people who could have beat Roman,
Yes.
but
Thank you.
they would have not done the merchandise sales, and they would have not have been the face of the company like Roman if he wouldn't have kept it as long as he has. I love Kevin Owens, but Kevin Owens is not outselling We the Ones and God Mode and Needle Mover shirts. Drew McIntyre is not outselling Roman Reigns and merchandise and cups and stuff like that. This is a perfect storm for
Roman's
Cody
not even
Rhodes
the
to
top
be
merch
that
seller.
next guy.
Roman's not even the top merch seller.
Who is the top merch seller?
New Day. New
Is it
Day's
the
top
New Day?
merch seller. Yeah, New Day's been top merch seller for years. Roman might be two. He might not even be two.
The bloodline
this
stuff
is-
is very high up there.
It is very high up there, but it's still not top merch seller.
But
Um,
Cody's going to be, and
Shocker.
here you're saying about the title reign for Cody. Cody's not going to have 300-day title reigns and stuff. Cody's going to essentially be Cena Attitude Era, where he's going to lose and chase, lose and chase, lose and chase. Everything about Cody's going to be the complete golden baby face struggle. Oh, you screwed me out of it, and I got to fight my way back. Cody's going to, by the time we start doing this show in 2026, Cody will probably be at least 4 or 5 time champion at that point.
I can see that.
As he should
Yeah.
be.
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
I agree with Chase. Like, I don't want Chase to think like, oh, I'm all about just the year-long reigns. I don't think that we need these fucking 1,000-day reigns, but I think it's cool that happened in nowadays times, and it was needed in the WWE because no one cared about anything in the WWE besides Roman Reigns. It was all Roman Reigns, or anyone from the Shield. So you could make a case for Seth Rollins. Absolutely could take it. I think he's the only other person, in my opinion, that could be the guy that could have taken it from Roman Reigns during that time. But they really didn't put the effort. Unless it was Roman Reigns. That's all.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
saying.
I absolutely agree. But I don't think that Roman was the only person in the company that they could have built around.
No,
I
they could
think
have.
that was an asinine statement, my guy.
They
I think
could
that
I
was
don't
an
care.
gave it.
absolute
I
They
don't
positively
care.
asinine statement.
they could have gave it to Edge. They could have gave it to Lesnar. They could have gave it to somebody that was
Lesnar
already
had the other title. They
a step.
unified it. Lesnar had the championship, bro.
Yeah, but when
Well,
they
I mean,
it was literally
beat
just
Roman
Roman
though.
Reigns and
Beat
Lesnar at
Roman
that point.
though.
It was just Roman and Lesnar at that time.
yeah, but look to what Graves is saying is there could have been other people that they put the focus on.
Yeah, but my whole argument is that they didn't put the effort on those guys. Is what I'm saying. It was
in
all Roman,
in 4
Roman,
months.
Roman.
In 4 months, when we come together on a Sunday night for a bad booking, and one of you motherfuckers goes, "This Cody Rhodes thing is really getting boring." I want you.
I've already told. So 8 months ago, when I said Cody is going to be your world champion,
I'm getting on a fucking bike and I am pedaling my ass to Chicago, Pennsylvania, or fucking Australia, whichever one of you says it.
You'd pass out in 5 blocks.
I will
That
say
which
this
is
right now.
what I did.
When I said months ago that Cody Rhodes will be your world champion, I also said he will be the most insufferable champion if you're not into the golden face baby face champions. I already know as him as champion, I'm going to absolutely hate it. I like when a dominant heel is champion. I prefer that. When a baby face is essentially Roman baby face, awful as
It's
champion.
always boring though. It's always
yeah.
boring. Heels are always better.
But the kids are gonna love Cody. Cody's gonna be this generation's Cena and Hogan, and I get it, it's needed, but it's gonna be tough to watch. The guy has 4 spots of pyro in his entrance. He's not, and every week his O's get louder. You know what I mean? It's gonna Cody's walking out as champion.
Appreciate that swag. Cody is going to be a victim of the chase is better than the reign. 1,000,000% is going to happen.
Does Cody split titles?
No. I think immediately on Monday Night Raw, there's going to be a new championship.
He combines them, and then
I can't see a world where we combine the men's titles but not the women's. I think the tag team titles combined, and we have one set of tag teams in the men's, and we have one set of tag teams for the women's. I think Cody brings back the Eagle, and I think Cody brings back Big Gold, and he says, I'm keeping the Eagle. This title has been held up too long. I'm going to have a tournament on SmackDown. Whoever wins that title, I'm a Raw guy. This title needs to go back to SmackDown.
That's goofy.
I think
that is absolutely.
I think they'll still
he's not taking a loss and losing the other title.
I think he combines them, and then when the draft happens, he'll get drafted to Raw or SmackDown, and then the other show will go. Okay, well, since you got your champion, we need to crown ours.
Yeah,
I think there's a new championship unveiled Monday Night Raw. Like ABJ said, he doesn't see a world where they don't combine the women's. I think that's going to happen at SummerSlam. I think you get Rhea versus either Asuka or Bianca Belair at SummerSlam. That's what I think.
That.
I think I
like that.
It's either I think that's going to happen. So I think there'll be a unification at SummerSlam. The tag titles will be unified. All titles will be unified with the exception, of course, Intercontinental and US. Those will stay their own. And I think they'll still have a draft, but champions will always move from show to show.
We'll see. Jake, if there was a god, he should strike you dead right now. You lying sack of shit. You lying sack of shit. You see why everybody on screen is laughing at you right now, Jake? Because you didn't say that. You know goddamn well you didn't say that.
Well, here's
this motherfucker told me that Roman should retire and then they should have a tournament for a new champion. That Roman should retire as champion. No. That's what he told me.
I
love you, Jakey.
The title thing I was gonna say, but I forgot now. Yeah. Anyway, that's pretty much our Mania out of the way. Let's get through Dynamite a little bit, and then we'll get to our other stuff and wrap this up here, right?
Yeah, there's only a couple things in AEW that I want to talk about. So the first thing, because I'm going to skip over that. What I do want to talk about is Josh Alexander relinquishing the Impact Championship. Mm-hmm. Also taking time away for mental health issues. So not only is he dealing with physical issues, he's dealing with mental issues. So, yeah. There's going to be a new Impact champion. I have my pick. Let's do around the board again. ABJ. Who you got?
It's tough. I don't really know who the top guys are in the company, but I'll just lean on Rich Swann.
Well, they got Steve Macklin versus Kushida at Rebellion to determine a new champion. That's who's fighting.
Who is it?
So at Rebellion is April 16th. That's the next month, right? Yeah. April 16th is going to be Steve Macklin versus Kushida to determine a new champion.
Holy
I would say
shit.
Kushida. I'll say Kushida.
Yep.
Um,
I thought you were reading my notes right there, Chase. It says it right there.
I skipped over that.
Oh, okay.
Because you had it like spaced, so I thought it was like another topic for Impact, and I was like, I don't fucking care about that. So
I would say Kushida, but is he signed with Impact?
Yes.
He is signed with Impact right now, yeah.
Oh, okay, then yeah. I think that's your guy.
I think they go Macklin.
I love Steve Macklin.
Yeah.
I love what he was able to do in Impact. I don't know if you guys remember the fiasco with the Forgotten Sons, how Gunner did that stupid shit, and
that was gonna be such a fucking badass team, dude.
Yeah. Well, I think they had to like, because their gimmick to start off with was they were like veterans who were forgotten about, and they already had like a really kind of bad stigma to them. And then Gunner, I think it's Gunner. Was it Gunner or was it?
It was Gunner.
It was Gunner.
Yeah, Gunner came out with that, that pro Trump stuff, and then like really kind of screwed him over. And Steve Macklin, who I thought was if you asked me, God, dude, I'd have picked Mac. I thought Macklin was bottom of the barrel. And forgot. Shut up, Axel. God. Anyways, Jesus. I'm gonna start using the timeout feature when you guys say dumb shit. And this is not just for one person. This is for everybody. When you guys start saying dumb shit, because what you say is on my screen, our screen. So as content creators, so if we clip this, I have your stupid fucking comments on there. So stop. Because like I said, I'll start putting your asses in timeout, or we'll just take the chat off the screen.
Yeah, we'll make new clips.
Yeah. Don't worry.
We'll
I
make it
always block out the chat for the clips anyway.
Yeah,
so we're
Thanks,
good.
I appreciate that. Anyways,
We're good.
so
Don't worry about that. We're good.
anyways, like I said, talent wise, I'd have picked Macklin like bottom of the barrel. But man, when he came to Impact, dude, he turned it on, and
He did turn on Impact, dude.
I am a fan, dude. So as much as I love to say Kushida, because I think because I'm also a huge Kushida fan. Because if you want me to be a fan of yours, brother, pander to me in my favorite movies. And Back to the Future, especially Back to the Future 2, is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Agreed. Let's all acknowledge Back to the Future. That was for you.
I
want you to do it. I don't know. You're still not going to do it.
I won't do that. But anyways, I won't. I would do anything. Sorry. Anyways, but I really want Kushida to win, but I'm going with Macklin on this one. So
I definitely Macklin. I
before you corrected me, Mark, on this to determine the new champion, I was going to go with the obvious choice for me would be Jonathan Gresham.
Think he's a future Impact champion.
Yep. I love what he's doing with Mike Bailey right now. Here's a crazy thought that might surprise some of you guys. Multiverse, which is the show that Impact and New Japan run on WrestleMania weekend, sold out completely.
Wow.
Good.
Supercard of Honor, not sold out.
They're allowed to use multiverse.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can't call it. As long as it's not like Multiverse of Madness.
Right.
Yeah, they can.
It's actually, Steven, you said Speedball Mike Bailey wrestling 3 times Thursday. I think he did that twice on last year's Mania. I think he wrestled 3 times on a Tuesday, and then 2 times on a Thursday, and then 3 times on a Friday. Yeah, he's an animal.
Damn, that sucks.
Clinton says Ospreay versus Speedball has been pulled from Multiverse. Ospreay is injured.
That sucks.
Yep, that does.
Ooh.
Tantalizing Tony, appreciate you joining.
No,
Yep. Appreciate everybody in there. Guys, if you are in the chat and you guys haven't already, make sure you hit that like button, hit that share button.
Yeah, I actually watched this video today about algorithms, and they said you can have a video that even if it's like 6 months old, if 50 people go in, or just like an example, if 50 people just all of a sudden go in and hit likes, it'll re-spark that video in your algorithm and push it to more people. Likes are very, very big right now when it comes to the pushing the algorithm on YouTube. Likes will push your video more than anything. So likes are super key. So any content creator you support, hitting a like button is huge.
Yes, agreed. But yeah, like I said, Multiverse is sold out. So that's one of the shows that I'm not going to be able to hit up.
What shows are you most excited for Mania weekend?
ROH Supercard of Honor. There is also a show Wednesday night when I get into town. I was invited by Chris, connecting people through wrestling. I saw him in St. Louis, and he was like, "Hey," he's like, "Are you going to go to Mania?" And I was like, "Yep." And he was like, "Wednesday." I was like, "That's the day my plane gets in." He was like, "Yeah, Wednesday night. You should come to me to I think it's APW, is what it's called. I think Billy Starks is going to be there." So
She can have a big Mania weekend.
yes. I am also going to bring my custom-made I-70 Hot Tag Championship and try and get Billy to sign it because she was on the show, and I'm trying to get everybody who was on the show to sign the belt. So
where is your belt? How come you don't have a title belt back there?
I took it down because I've been traveling with it. So it is over there. We can look at it at the end.
That is
the
a
show.
dope idea. I love that. If I ever get money to make my own ABJ podcast belt, I'm stealing that and having everyone sign it. But it's going to be a long, long time. Yeah. I'll probably be 400 episodes in before I even get a belt. But I'm excited for GCW's collective. I just want to give a quick rundown. So Thursday, starting at 11 a.m., Santino Bros Wrestling. Then 4 p.m., Josh Barnett's Bloodsport. DDT Pro Wrestling. For the Culture. Then Friday is going to be Jimmy Lloyd's Deathmatch Degeneration F. DDT versus GCW. That's going to be a shit show. Joey Janela's Spring Break 7. My most anticipated show that night will be Emo Fight, where it's all emo themed music in professional wrestling. The last time they did it, it was a blast. Then we have Saturday, Effie's Big Gay Brunch, which is going to be dope. Gringo Locos World Lucha. And then Saturday, the Indie Wrestling Hall of Fame at 12 p.m. And all of that used to be $150 package on Fight Plus, but if you pay your $7 a month, it is all on there.
Yep. Agreed. So right now I have tickets to ROH Supercard of Honor, and then I have my tickets to WrestleMania and both nights of WrestleMania. I am going to buy a ticket to Stand and Deliver. And then I'm going to try and and then I'm also going to get a ticket from Raw the night after WrestleMania. And then I'm going to try and obviously hit up some indie shows. I unfortunately do have to work. My job is being fuck asses. They used to give us this option to take paid time off or unpaid time off. So I'm like, okay, since it's like 1 or 2 days that I take off here or there for shows, can that be unpaid time off? And then when I take multiple days off, make that be paid time off. Because I don't care if I take a day or 2 off and don't get paid for it. But if I take long periods of time off, I'd like to get my paid time off. And they were like, no. And I say, well, then what's the point of you giving me the option to take unpaid time off? It's just there, so it makes me think I have a choice, when in reality I don't have a choice. All right, fine. That's cool. I said, here's the deal. When football season starts back up, since I reactivated my or not reactivated, but since I had to sell all my season tickets last year for the Chiefs, I am going to my Chiefs games this year because I'm not paying this much money to be a season ticket holder every year to give away or to sell my tickets. That's ignorant. So here's the deal. Either change my schedule by football season or I love tilling jobs. It's either me or nothing. Guys, let's talk about this giant elephant in the room with AEW.
I thought you were going somewhere else.
What? Well, it's funny you mentioned that. I am going to save that for the end of the show. Okay. But I do like that. I do like how you laughed when I said giant, because man, I was a little envious.
Yeah.
Anyways,
No stage fright.
yeah, I'm not envious when I see somebody with an uncut one though. That's weird.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Although I have made a joke about that on this show, and just to clarify, it's definitely cut. So, anyways,
I have no idea
AEW.
what's going on right now.
I know.
We'll get
Go
there.
ahead.
Yeah.
Bro, it's
Mark-
like, it's
Mark
like
does.
his fucking cock makes a cameo every episode, bro.
Oh.
Jesus
Mine?
fucking Christ. Yeah, dude, let's go. Keep going with the fucking show.
Rooster.
Stop talking about your cock.
CM Punk. Speaking of cocks,
Wow.
God
so
damn
what's
it, bro.
this? What's this CM Punk drama going on, guys? Is it a work or not?
Work.
I think he's coming back.
I think he's coming back too. You guys saw the story? It was all over. I'm sure everyone saw it.
Yeah.
I actually saw it. I was on Instagram when it happened. I actually got my own screenshot.
You wanna break it down for us, Mark or ABJ?
Let Graves break it down, because Graves did a live stream about it, and
I
AEW
bet.
joined his live stream.
Oh.
Yeah, which was really weird. Instead of them like joining the live stream and like just kind of like creeping, they actually waved in the chat.
But here's the thing:
Interesting.
that day when it all broke and everybody was going live, making videos about the CM Punk news, AEW was going through a bunch of YouTubers' live streams and waving.
Just by you saying that right now, it's a motherfucking work. He's coming back.
Yeah.
Just
I
like
feel-
Chamber says, Punk FTR.
I feel I said it, Chase, when you were at Raz and you were talking about Dynamite Rampage. You guys were talking about Punk.
Yeah.
When this news broke, I thought, okay, I wanted to make sure it was legit, and when I did, I went live. I figured as much that, Punk's going off, and kind of what we've seen before from him. Speaking out publicly about things. I mean, obviously, we all know what happened with the media scrum. And then all of it, out of nowhere, I'm going over what Punk's saying. AEW waves in the chat. And my friend, back out what Blackwell was saying, my friend showed me a thing. They were waving in other people's chats who were live talking about the same thing. And to me, at least, and this might be conspiracy theory talk, and I don't like a lot of theories and shit like that, but for me, why would a company that has not publicly mentioned CM Punk by name
And
go
also
into
go out of their way during a backstage segment that involved a truck to build a structure on the truck to block out CM Punk's face?
right?
So if you
Why
watch
would-
the backstage thing with the ambulance to take him away, there's an AEW park thing there, and they put pallets and cardboard over it so you couldn't see CM Punk's face.
So why would they go out of their way to wave in the chat? I honestly think they're setting it up. They're going to use the media. They're going to use content creators to build this. And I honestly think, I've been talking about this with a lot of people too, and I got to agree with this one point. At least in my opinion, WWE, once Triple H came back in the seat, everybody's been wanting to talk about him, talk about what he's doing, talk about what the Bloodline's doing, talk about Sami Zayn. When you have this storyline happen with Punk coming in and you have him come back as the voice of the voiceless, everybody's going to be talking about AEW again. They take the forefront. I wholeheartedly agree with that, and I think it's going to be probably one of the greatest wrestling storylines that is ever going to happen.
You're bringing Punk in, and Punk is going to turn around and say, you guys are the establishment. I've been anti-establishment my whole career. You're the EVPs. You came backstage as EVPs and assaulted me, and kicked my poor dog in the face. Had to get teeth removed, like all of that. And then when FTR joins, they'll be like, "Yo, you know what's crazy? Every single time when you guys won your titles and your trios and everything, you forced us to go to ROH." And you wouldn't, because you didn't want to face us, because you were in control of the booking. Like, you've been avoiding us this whole time. Like, it just writes itself. It's going to be like we said, if this is not a work from the beginning, even if it is a work, it's going, if they can kiss and make up and get this in the storyline and get this in the ring, it's going to be mega money. And people are at first they're going to boo Punk. Everyone's gonna be pro elite. I'm telling you this right now, pro elite in the crowd. until you have a mic off between the Elite and CM Punk. You're going to give that man a microphone, and he's going to completely flip the script, and everyone's going to be anti-Elite and pro-Punk within 2 weeks on a microphone.
So I want to point a couple things out because I'm going to start playing devil's advocate with you guys.
Yeah.
Because I want to clarify a couple things. Number one, I think it has turned into a work. The reason why I think it is, or the reason why I know it is because Punk posted on Instagram as well about a story from Memphis when two wrestlers had a problem with each other. And then they went into Jerry Lawler's office at Memphis Wrestling and made up the next day. And Punk literally posted that on social media just the past few days about that story. Really weird how he would post that story and talk about it. Secondly, and I'm not going to play devil's advocate. That was a wrong term. But I would say if you don't think it's a work, then tell me how come the story that originally came out from Punk's camp was that they kicked in the door, they assaulted, they threw the first punch, and then Punk defended himself, and of course Ace Steel defended himself. But because Ace Steel acted so ferociously, Ace Steel
got real.
That's what happened with him. And then the private investigation was done, the third-party investigation that was done that AEW did. Now, the report of the investigation wasn't released, but we do know that report cleared the Bucks, if you will, because the Bucks got to come back from their suspension, right? And so let me ask you, how come Punk hasn't been fired? Somebody said
our release from his contract.
Somebody said that AEW is scared that Punk will sue them because Punk is sue happy, which is
said
weird.
that, which is true.
Which is weird. He's only sued one person, so which is crazy. So I don't know how you can be sue happy when you've only sued one person.
He sued WWE and he sued Colt Cabana.
He threatened to sue WWE.
No, he won a lawsuit from WWE for the malpractice of the doctors.
No, he did not. He accused that doctor of malpractice.
I'm pretty sure that went to trial and he won.
So listen, look it up. Look it up. He did not. He accused them. That doctor tried to sue him.
I think that's what happened. Yeah.
Yeah. So Punk did not. The only person that Punk has ever tried to sue was Colt Cabana, and that was Colt Cabana because Colt Cabana was racking in money from advertisers for the podcast that Punk did, and Colt Cabana chose not to give any of that money to Punk because he didn't think Punk needed any of that money.
All right, so he won a civil lawsuit that was filed against him.
Yes.
So he didn't sue the doctor. The doctor sued him, and he won the lawsuit
because of what he said about that doctor on Colt.
Yeah. So I had it wrong, but yeah, he did have a lawsuit with Colt, and he had a lawsuit with the doctor.
So, but again, everybody's like, oh, AEW won't fire Punk because Punk is sue happy. Weird, because I don't know of Punk filing any lawsuits against anybody except for his friend Colt Cabana.
Well, we thought of it logistically and thought if two EVPs walk into a room and beat up their fucking employee, then that's grounds for a lawsuit. You know what I mean?
But you have to remember, that was the story that Punk came out with first. Then the private investigation said that Punk and his team were more at fault than the Bucks.
Take it one step further. I think this is going to turn into Punk's going to come on TV and be like, "Oh, you really want to see what happened? You want to see the truth? Oh, there's a special episode dropping this week. You like your behind the scenes show AEW? CM Punk has his own version coming out because that whole behind the scenes TV show is a big thing now. There's going to be an episode where they're going to show what happened at that press conference.
It's got to happen.
You're going to tell me all the stuff they film and all the things they do in the BET and all that. Mm-hmm. The Bucks literally walk around with a camera everywhere they go. None of that got filmed.
Oh, it got filmed. Hell yeah, it did.
Yeah. So, and that's my thing is everybody's like, well, because if Punk was at fault, then how come we wasn't handed his walking papers like Ace Steel was? Well, they'd have no. If he threw the first punch, according to this report that was done, this investigation that made the Elite look like the good guys in this situation.
Yep.
Then Punk is in violation of a contract. Punk could be terminated from that contract. Yeah. There's no money involved. There's no lawsuit. If there is, it's a frivolous lawsuit. And Tony Khan has made it perfectly clear. 1,000 times that he has all this money. So do you think Tony Khan would care if he wastes a few $1,000s on some court fees and attorneys to laugh Punk out of a courtroom? He was sent home on the injury. It was sent home so everybody could calm down. And now just like Punk referenced that story in Memphis back in the 70s or 80s with Jerry Lawler. Go look that up. Punk tweeted it, or Punk not tweeted it. Punk commented on somebody's post.
Money.
Said, what if somebody walked into the office and worked it out just like they did with Jerry Lawler back in the 80s or whatever? And everybody was like, man, that's a really weird thing for you to say, especially when you just got into a scuffle online with Jericho, Dave Meltzer, and accused John Moxley, which, by the way, I love Punk. I'm a huge Punk fan. I was also a huge Elite fan, Kenny Bucks fan, but I'm not as big of a fan of them anymore because of this whole situation. Still more of a Punk fan because I think Punk acted the way that any grown man would. All these people that are like, oh, you don't do it publicly like that. Listen, if it was you, you'd feel a lot different. Mm-hmm. So when somebody calls you out publicly on a public forum, you would act a whole lot differently. This
Absolutely.
whole taking the higher, this whole bullshit of
the whole time.
Yeah, this whole bullshit of taking the higher road and not doing it. The only person that was at fault during that brawl out situation was Tony Khan for letting Punk do it. Punk was not out of line for calling them out for being assholes. Tony Khan was out of line for allowing it to happen at the press conference.
Yeah.
So
and he says in the chat, why is Punk removed from the video game? Because it's all going to go into the promo. It's easy to put him in as DLC. That gets added at any point.
He's not removed from the game. He's just removed from the cover. He's not removed from the game.
He's not removed from the game at all.
Yeah. Because what did he say against John Cena? I'm not on the cover of the video games. I'm not on the cover of the cups. You're removing me from the trucks. My face is everywhere. It's gone. And you know what I mean? But who's the biggest draw in this company? And it's me. You know what I mean? It's all good. It's all part of it.
Yep.
Yeah.
The other AEW news, FTR, guys. Is FTR leaving?
No.
Nope.
Yeah. You're a fucking idiot if you think they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are a stone cold fucking idiot if you think they are.
Do you think MJF's leaving in April?
Yeah.
No, I think they added that stipulation just to make people try to think, be like, oh man, you know,
just like Dax posted. Dax posted on social media. He's like, our future is not yet decided. Yes, it is, asshole. Listen, Tony Khan is a spaz. I'll say that right now. Tony Khan is a straight up spaz. Love the dude, but total spaz. But he's not a fucking idiot. You don't let the top guys on TV when their contracts expire on April 1st. And then somebody could say, well, maybe they worked out a deal. Wait, you think Tony Khan let Cody Rhodes walk? Let William Regal walk?
Do you think Tony Khan put the world title on MJF for his contract to run up 2 months later and then he holds it under their head? No, that deal was already signed, sealed, delivered. Yeah. MJF is there for the foreseeable future.
Yes. It's business, and it all reverts back to that whole thing I talk about all the time, guys, where wrestling fans just sometimes always have to feel like everything is a work, and sometimes everything's not. So business.
I will say this: if they worked us with that press conference fight, kudos.
Yeah,
it'd be one of the greatest stories in decades. I'm telling you right now.
Like I said, I don't think the press conference was work. I think it turned.
They're playing off of it. They're playing off
it's
of
a
it.
shoot turned into.
I think the video footage we're gonna see that happened backstage that night is all gonna be reshot footage.
Oh, absolutely. I think they're even going to do some comedy stuff with it with MJF in the background. Because supposedly MJF was a witness, so I could just see them doing some funny shit with MJF in the video.
Yeah.
That's not accurate. Sorry, I was looking at something that was completely off. It was like from 2 weeks ago. Taya Valkyrie beating Jade Cargill?
Nope.
I honestly kind of 50-50 on it. I don't know who really beats Jade.
I feel like she has the best chance at this moment, but I think at the end of the day, it's not going to be a new signee. It's going to be someone that's already in house. I think everyone always expects it to be a new signee. It's going to be in house, and I think it's going to be Statlander. when she's ready.
I think you're crazy.
Okay.
I could see it being Statlander, but I don't think Statlander is the right choice. How do you run two How do you run two programs and get beat both times and then come back?
Statlander's biggest struggle is going to be, can she cut a promo on a mic? Can she be a champion that puts a mic in her hand? Can she talk?
Yep.
Jade can talk.
So who is it?
I don't know.
I already told you.
Who?
Mercedes.
Oh.
Yeah, the only thing with that is I would see if, would she come in as a world champion somewhere else and come take what is technically considered a secondary title off of Jade?
See, that's what I'm saying. This is the problem with the TBS championship right now because of that fact. With her amazing streak right now, it's like who comes in and you're making this championship better or seem more, not better, but seem more important than the Women's World Championship right now.
Yeah.
There's only been one champion. There's only been one TBS champion. We've run through 4 champions right now for the World Championship.
Yep.
All right. That's all I really got for AEW.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it. That's all I put on there.
Yep. We already talked about Impact. Our friend. Let me see if I got to scroll back. God, dude, the chat has been lit the fuck up tonight, guys.
While he scrolls back, what about bad booking of the week, guys?
Yeah, there you go.
Before you guys get into your indie stuff.
Bad booking of the week is going to be indie stuff for me.
Non-indie stuff. Bad booking of the week.
Yeah. When we do bad booking of the week, ABJ, we got to keep it to mainstream.
Holy Hannah, it's tough to beat this.
Graves, ladies and gentlemen, this is Graves' first episode.
Let him pick. Yeah.
So what we do, Graves, is that we do a bad booking of the week. It could be across any mainstream promotion, so Impact Wrestling, AEW, WWE.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, you choose the worst booking of the week, not from all the shows, but what do you think is the worst across all those shows that you were like, wow, this was fucking shitty.
If I have to pick one, and I'm just gonna say it, the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. I think it's a lazy way to get people on, just to kind of say that they have a Mania spot, but
it's not even a Mania, right?
Yeah, it's on SmackDown.
It's on SmackDown. That was mine.
I don't find it interesting. I think I'd find it a little more interesting if you get a championship match of some sort, maybe like a U.S. title match, or at least something. The Battle Royal, some of the time, some of the guys do go on to win championships, but I think the problem with it is they don't really do anything really important after they win it. And that's the thing for me. If you got a tournament that's or not a tournament, I'm sorry, a Battle Royal that is honoring Andre the Giant, it should have a little more meaning to it for me. So that's it for me.
I'm gonna piggyback off of you because I don't know if ABJ's gonna pick the same thing, but I'm gonna piggyback off of you for a lot of the same reasons that you just said, but also they stack that Battle Royal with people that have no business to even be on the card. It's like they put one person that who's gonna win, and then you have a bunch of others that they fill that matchup. It's just like another Royal Rumble where it's like you have all these guys that we know have absolutely no chance of winning, have no business. So if you want to put people more invested in there, you got to put other people in it that be like, okay, this person can definitely win. This person can definitely win. And what does it mean moving forward? So I definitely agree with you on that one. That's my bad booking of the week.
I'll say my bad booking is this lead up for these 2 tag team matches that really have no clear cut indication what they're actually there for Mania.
That's up there too. It definitely has to be up there.
Yep. I like Steven Chambers, Bully Ray versus Tommy Dreamer.
Great pick.
Great pick.
Just Bully Ray. Listen, we get it. You're a bad guy. Just stay on Busted Open.
Yep. I don't know if you guys. I wanted to mention this when he mentioned that because Bully Ray reminds me of NWA and Tyrus and whatnot. Did you see Chris Van Vliet's interview he did with Chris Masters, where Chris Masters completely calls out? He calls out Tyrus and shit on him. I loved it, dude.
Fucked up, man. That was fucked up.
I know. I love it, man.
I couldn't believe that happened.
Yeah.
Damn, I didn't see. I didn't see. You have to go look it up.
Yeah, go look it up, dude. It's fucked up.
So speaking of, so I found Necro Eric's comment, but it was weird because Necro Eric followed it up with, "Why don't any of you guys watch wrestling? Fuck my life." Like, listen, dude.
He's already gone. He's left. He left
Yeah,
right after that comment.
I know.
Yeah.
So, and that's fine. Fuck him. Because here's what I'm going to say. ABJ interviews independent wrestlers on the East Coast all the fucking time. The ABJ podcast, check it out. I interview independent wrestlers all the fucking time.
Graves as well.
Yeah, Graves as well.
Yeah, I've done a lot of interviews.
So come check out one of those fucking shows that we're talking about independent wrestling and interviewing independent wrestlers. Until then, fuck off. Take a fucking hike.
Yeah, I mean,
But-
I had somebody come in from Twitch as well. It was a while ago. I was doing a review for Extreme Rules, and
Yeah.
somebody was just trash talking AEW. Like, we're not even talking about that right now.
Yeah.
Like-
I got no. I don't fucking like. I'm cool, guys. Like,
It's funny. I know you don't
yeah.
follow my content if you say I don't support the independent wrestling scene.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Or any of our
So,
content. You know.
He's on my Twitch. Like, it is weird because all my shows are on Twitch too.
Yeah.
But like, here's the thing, guys. Like, and I just watched our viewership drop like 5 people, and that's fine. I'm not here. Like, I'm here to provide you guys with content. If you guys don't like it, the fucking unfollow button is right there in your clear scene, and you guys can peace out. I'm cool with that. I'm not doing that. Like, we're gonna talk. We do bad booking because we want to talk about mainstream wrestling. We put a portion of it where we talk about independent stuff because ABJ and I are so fucking deep into this independent stuff. Like, and if you're not cool with waiting until the end of the show to talk about the independent stuff, then fuck off. Like,
Essentially, I at least can speak for me and maybe Chase on this one. We essentially only do mainstream wrestling stuff because that's essentially what gets you views and it gets you popular. But I would much rather talk all independent wrestling, but it doesn't get you the exposure and the growth you want.
Yeah.
So we're
where
gonna
the fuck are you at on Thursday nights, Necro Eric? When the fuck I'm talking, when I'm interviewing independent wrestlers every fucking Thursday. Never seen you chime in then. But
I'm 2
here
days a
you
week
are
interviewing
tonight.
independent
Like,
wrestlers.
fuck off, dude. So, anyways,
And he
here's,
said he likes XPW.
Well, he said, "What did you guys think of SHP passing by? Limitless Wrestling, Reasonable Doubt, Black Label Pro. I know Black Label Pro just ran. Cannot really talk too much about the other ones.
Also, real quick, he talked about SSP passing. How about Piss Jug passing?
Yeah, exactly. So,
Oh, you know who Piss Jug is? Oh, you should probably follow independent wrestling scene.
Yeah, you should. Check out GCW, and I think XPW had a.
He was a fan of XPW as well. He likes deathmatch wrestling,
which is fine. To each his own. I'm not a fan of deathmatch wrestling. I do know guys that do death matches, and I respect them. That's cool, but it's just not my thing. But speaking of death matches, XPW made a lot of headlines overnight
for a lot of reasons.
Because one of the reasons why is they had a guy from GCW who does death matches in a match where he took a syringe to his penis.
And when you say to yourself, did he take it just in the crotch area? No, he pulled his pants completely down and exposed his bare genitals to an entire and he didn't do the whole gimmick like Sexy Eddie where he covers it with his hands the whole time. No, exposed his genitals to an entire arena full of people, and they grabbed it and stuck a hypodermic needle through it.
So I am
wrestling match.
So guys, before I let y'all get into this,
but if you say that's dumb, you're a snowflake. Just put that out there.
Nope. So here's my thing, guys. I've been a wrestling fan since I was 4 years old. And we've seen some crazy shit on TV. We've lived through, Mick Foley and stuff like that. And my youngest son, Dimitri, is 11 years old and he loves wrestling too. You are a fucking piece of shit if you take your kids to go see death matches. You can agree, you can disagree. I don't fucking care. But I'm putting this out here right now.
If you're taking your kid to XPW and didn't do your homework, that's your fault.
Kid, yeah. If there is a death match on the card and you took your fucking kid under the age of 14, because 15 years old, you're watching blood and guts anyways, right? You're finding it on the internet, stuff like that.
Blood and
But
guts is one thing. But if you're
if
taking
you
your
take-
kid and there's a guy pulling his wiener out on the
Well,
stake,
I'm talking about just in general, but I'm not even talking about this. I'm not even talking about this dick syringe thing. I'm talking about in general. If you take your kids to see death matches, you're a piece of shit, and you should reevaluate how you parent your children. That's all there is to it.
and here's where I will defend that a little bit. There is deathmatch promotions that you can still take your kids to.
Yeah, there's listen. I
like
I
H2O,
hate how
like
there's
Matt Tremont shows. I mean, they're deathmatch, but they're not.
Let's clear. I'll pull some layers back a little bit because I complained about this to Raz. Everybody throws the word deathmatch on everything. Okay. And I hate that. AEW does that shit all the time. Like, oh, it's a Texas death match. That's not a death match. It's a hardcore match.
It's a hardcore match.
Yeah, it's a hardcore match. It's like watching Mick Foley Triple H Royal Rumble 2000 when we were kids. That's not a death match. But this glass tubes, pizza cutters. Yeah, I mean, like pizza cutters, people's foreheads, trying to stab people, trying to literally murder people and make it look cool. Like, yo, your kids have no business in that. And if you know that's on the card and you know that's what that company produces all the time, and you still take your kids to that, fuck you, you're a piece of shit. Like, that's all there is to it. So when somebody goes, oh my God, my kids, there was kids in the crowd. Like, number one,
I don't know if there were though. I think XPW does limit the tickets to 18 and up.
Cool. Awesome.
I don't know. I could be wrong, but
yeah. But well, I think there was a discussion of maybe somebody who promotes that promotion, who takes their kids to the events all the time, might have took their kid to one of those. So fuck you, you're a piece of shit, that guy. So
well, I personally know that guy. His kid is at everything. I would almost guarantee that if this guy was aware that was a spot, his kid didn't see it.
Yeah.
He essentially brings his kid because he's a ring rental. His kid is being monitored. His, like, you know what I mean? Like, I think if he realized that, like, hey, there's going to be a grown man adult penis on the show, I'm almost willing to bet he pulled his kid out of the arena for that.
Yeah. So and we're not even talking about kids. We're just talking about like it's weird. Like I don't like, to each his own. Wrestling is subjective. You guys know me.
Like, I just think it's a crazy unnecessary spot.
Yeah, if you like it, you like it. That's cool.
Spot. That's not.
But yeah, but like a dick, like really.
And they also brought back a guy who just had a whole lot of allegations when it comes to domestic violent drug and alcohol problems as well, and brought him back on the show. So that was also a big headline that people were upset about.
Yeah, the owners and the staff on their Twitter page were trying to justify it by comparing it to Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah. Well, the difference is, if I'm not mistaken, Stone Cold Steve Austin did open up and say, hey, I did this, I apologize, and I went through the steps. WWE put him through steps to better himself and get away from, and fix it, where this guy just denied.
Yep.
But everyone has their story. I don't know the story behind this guy. I watched multiple
women retweet their accusations
about him
today. Yeah. And like I said, that was XPW's response, like a real piece of shit, was to go, oh, okay, well, this
is also a promotion that heavily lean on using MAGA Trump storylines and being anti-Latino, anti-Black. They lean into that the MAGA is a racist group, and essentially have a heel stable of MAGA supporters who essentially go out and act like they're racist, and the crowds aren't cheering for him because they think it's a good storyline. They're leaning into what they believe in.
Yeah.
What do you think, Mark? You think if God, dude, like we talk up like indie wrestling all the time to you, brother, and I'm so excited. Like, I would love to go with you to your first indie wrestling event.
Yeah, I've never been to one. I
wouldn't take you to one of these guys though.
But like, what would you? Number one, I would never take you to something like that. But what would you do, like, if this was your first indie wrestling event, and like, I mean, would you cringe at all the violence, or would you kind of be like, okay, like, it's violent, but then as soon as this guy pulls his pants around his ankles and shows his pecker to everybody and gets,
I would not cringe to the violence, just because obviously if I'm going to this show and I'm expecting it to be this kind of show, probably not, because I like I don't dislike death matches, but it's not my thing where I want to watch it from start to finish either. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't care. But this guy dropping trial and then fucking doing that's
Crazy.
I probably would have walked out. Like, yeah, I'm done. Like that probably would have that. There's not much that gets me to my threshold like that.
Essentially,
been like,
probably
yeah,
what happened is GCW did the Sexy Eddie spot, that he's been doing this for forever, and they probably said, "Hold my beer, we're gonna do it one step more."
Yeah, no. I think I would have been like, all right, Chase, thank you for taking me. I'll see you later.
I'd have done the same thing. I'd have been like, I'd have looked at you and been like, yo, I didn't know this was going to happen.
It's just so crazy to me that we have a moment in wrestling where, and I maybe it's apples and oranges. Maybe I'm stretching here. I'm just talking. I'm not really putting much thought into this, but like Joey Ryan got canceled for being weird, and his whole time of being canceled, his whole spot was using his penis as a object in a wrestling ring. And then we've had multiple people get canceled for showing stuff that they weren't being asked to be shown, and guys being creepy. And they're like, it'd be funny. Let's just show a whole crowd unsolicited a male genitalia during a show. And the greatest part about it is one of their storylines is right-wing MAGA stuff, right? And they're trying to cancel drag shows because it's unsafe for kids. So you're a right-wing leaning MAGA supporter, but you're like, I'm also going to show a live crowd of penis.
Yeah, I don't know if I could. I'd be all
it's
over
crazy.
That,
It's nuts.
It's nuts.
And we've probably given it more time than it deserved. I personally don't watch XPW. I didn't see the show. I didn't see the event. If you're into deathmatch wrestling, good for you. I love that for you. I think deathmatch wrestling has a spot for everybody. It's not my personal favorite, but I'm not here to tell you what you can and can't enjoy. I just think it's crazy of the spot they pulled off in that show, and I just think it was unnecessary.
Nail on the head. I love it.
Agreed.
Yeah, no. But now that we talked about it, Mark, we need to get a calendar on the date.
I could definitely look some things up. I got a busy year.
Obviously, you're not pounding nails and pounding babies.
Well, I'm almost done with that stuff.
That's very out of context.
I'm almost done with that stuff. I got a couple trips coming up this year. My boys, the guy that Gonzalez, David guy, he's getting married. That's my best friend.
You know David Gonzalez?
I do.
Is he really the Giant Gonzalez?
No. He's not. So we're going to New Orleans this year for his bachelor party, and then he's getting married in August. And then I also still have to go on my honeymoon. So I'm definitely going to try to plan around there, and then we'll get back to you on that one because you're not that far. So I would definitely like you to come up, take me to my first show. We get experience the Chicago scene together. That'd be pretty cool.
Absolutely. There was a tease, and I guess it was put to rest because Raz, our good friend Raz, jumped the gun prematurely. He mentioned that he would be traveling to Toronto for Forbidden Door.
And then those ticket prices showed up.
Yes. And then also his wife reminded him of the time of year it was, and he was like, yeah, I can't go. And he pretty much like his wife was like, you can go, but just keep that in mind. And then he looked at me and I was like, yeah, you can't go.
Man,
I heard the way she said that.
I'm
you ain't going.
From Chicago, man.
Huh?
Yeah. They should have kept it in Chicago.
They should have. I was a little pissed off about that.
Fucking assholes.
I was
scalpers once again. They snatch up all the tickets and they resell them at exorbitant prices.
Yes. Yeah. Somebody said. Steven said, "Who do you guys pick? Who are you guys picking to win the Reach for the Sky Tag Team Ladder Match? Roosh and Driscoll, Aussie Open, Kingdom, Top Flight, or Lucha Bros?"
Top Flight.
I'm going Top Flight, but I would love Aussie Open to do it, but they won't. They're just there.
Top Flight's your more consistent team there. They have been putting out great matches against top people in the company, and I think right now, AEW is
Top Flight
very
fucking ladder match.
I think Top Flight is. I think AEW is pushing their homegrown talent, what they would call her homegrown talent, and the next generation of talent, and getting all the major guys in a storyline, and now pushing the young guys for the titles.
Agreed.
I think Top Flight.
Definitely Top Flight.
You guys want to take a look at any other shows going on that weekend? Or
I will be at if you're going to be in the New Jersey area. the win wrestling for the win will be happening next Friday. I will be there in attendance. I don't know what I'm doing. I have been invited by the powers that be of that promotion to come hang out. There's going to be a lot of really great matches. So if you're in the New Jersey area, check out wrestling. I think it's Wrestling Win or Win Wrestling. I should probably learn the promotion's name. I'm having a brain fart right now. Every time I ever see it, the logo is just Win. But yeah, go check out that promotion if you're in the Jersey area and you're not watching all stuff for the that's going on Mania weekend. If you want to go physically see a show and you're on the East Coast and you want to show some love, yeah, that's where you need to be. Jersey, I believe it's Ridgefield Park is where the show's happening.
So
as I'm talking,
Axel
wrestling is now. It's wrestling is now Win, and it's yeah, that's where the show's. That's the promotion. That's all I got.
Anthony Graves, you got anything going on and then upcoming little bit you want to plug, brother?
For next weekend, I decided to do a WrestleMania review for each night. So I'll be live after WrestleMania for night 1 and for night 2. So okay. I'm excited.
So are you not gonna be here? Are you not gonna be here next week for Bad Booking?
Probably not. Just for Mania though, because it is the Sunday night.
Scumbag.
So yeah, I've been planning that out for a minute, and I think I'm gonna have a predictions video out soon, and I'm gonna try to do a new series coming up soon as well with a up and coming pro wrestler, but I don't know just yet when it's gonna start. But there's gonna be a lot of fun things happening. I'm very very excited.
Good. Kingpin.
Man, I'm so busy right now, guys. I'm gonna get back on it as soon as I get my wife in her new house and she can get off my butt about it. YouTube's coming. You guys can follow me on all social platforms, Pro Wrestling Kingpin. I'm gonna put a lot more effort as soon as she's happy, and then we'll be good. But as of right now, I got nothing going on but Bad Booking. I will be available next week for Bad Booking. If you guys gonna watch it, we could break down WrestleMania next week.
Yeah.
Perfect. So guys, okay. So guys, we are going to raid out tonight. But it's just going to be me and my 4 viewers on Twitch, raiding out.
And my one.
Well, cause I think when
you raid out, it just takes
unless you do a raid the same time I do.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
How do you do it again?
If you go to your stream manager, then there's some quick actions on the right-hand side. One of them is start raid.
How do I do stream manager?
At the top right hand of your screen, if you click on it, like your icon,
I just see channel, creator dashboard, video producer.
Go to creator or go to video producer, and then go to stream manager. It'll take you to creator dashboard.
Got you.
Boom.
And then what do I do?
You want to
raid channel?
Yeah.
Raid channel and just put the channel in.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm gonna raid your boy too. Hold on.
Don't hit start raid until we finish out.
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. So guys, what I've got going on tomorrow night, we are doing a watch along for a wrestler we are interviewing on Thursday night. Yes, I will still be doing the I-70 hot tag while I am in Cali. It is my baby. It is my bread and butter. So yes, I will be there. Wednesday night, I probably will not be live for the AEW Dynamite post show, unfortunately. And then next Sunday for Bad Booking, gentlemen.
We're not doing Sunday.
Okay.
And if it's too late for people, I understand. But I'm thinking either maybe we do a post Raw.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing a post Raw as well.
Post Raw, or we could do Tuesday night.
I could definitely do Monday. Tuesday night would have to be a little later, maybe.
But Chase is going to Raw, so he won't be able to do it with us after Raw.
I'll be home. I'll be home shortly after Raw. You guys can start, and I'll jump in.
Okay.
If you guys want, I'll make the event. Okay.
Yeah, we could do that.
Oh, let's do that.
All right. So Bad Booking
Graves,
next Monday.
Graves, are you going to be down?
Monday, probably to be determined. Tuesday, definitely. Okay. I could definitely do Tuesday.
Well, then let's do it Tuesday.
We could do Tuesday, but can we do it 9:30 Central Standard?
Yeah, that's fine.
That's what 10 us.
10:30.
10:30 you.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
All right, cool.
You cool
Yeah,
with that,
cool.
Graves?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. All right. Speak now or forever hold your peace.
Go ahead, finish your plugs,
All
and then we'll go around the horn.
I'm done.
Perfect. So guys, like I said, stay tuned to all my forms of social media, explanation point, CR media in the chat. We'll bring up my link tree. Make sure you pay attention to it. We're going to be pumping out a lot of content over the next week. I leave early Wednesday morning, so it will start that day. So definitely look for lots of cool shit to come. Other than that, the 1 year anniversary of the I-70 hot tag, we've got Buff Bagwell coming on that day. It's a 420. So we're also going to be doing some other stuff. We're going to be doing
I'll be watching that one.
we're going to be doing some giveaways. We're going to be, oh baby boy, I'm really excited. I'm not going to give anything away, but there's a guy who is wrestling in St. Louis on April 30th, and Josh and I have already started reaching out and asking to promote the event. So trying to see if we can get him on. He's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. So I am super, super excited about it. But anyways, Buff Bagwell, 420. We're also gonna be doing some giveaways and some other cool shit for the 1 year anniversary. So make sure you guys tune in for that. Other than that, I ain't got anything.
I got a little bit.
Go ahead.
Added to Blackwell Jr. all social media. Next week, not one, not two, but 3 episodes of the ABJ podcast dropping you next week. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Tuesday, I'll have Nathaniel Cunningham. Wednesday, I'll have Mary Beth. And then Thursday, I'll have Harleen Lopez. So go check out those 3 interviews. Just hit 600 on YouTube. So thank you for everyone that's been subscribing. Audio plays are about to hit 700, which is insane. And I just got offered an ad read, which gets me paid every single time you listen to the audio side of things. So now that you're listening to the audio, every time you hear that ad, I get a little bit of money, which is dope. I see in the chat, no Masha talk. Huge congratulations to my friend Masha for being the first ever women GCW champion and then successfully defending it the next day in Canada. That's pretty dope. Discord, 100+ members, man. It's growing. A lot of cool stuff happening there. Come hang out at the ABJ and Friends Discord. And let's keep that chat going and very active. A lot of fun stuff happening there.
Absolutely. Anything else?
And new logos drop, but if you're not from PA, you're not gonna understand what they are. It's an iced tea container and a chocolate milk container, but
Yeah,
just some new logos.
Yeah, they suck. They're nowhere near as cool as the NWO ones.
They're cool too. I also got the duct tape shirt, so I have a Kevin Owens duct tape shirt. It says it's duct tape ABJ.
Yeah, that shirt is pretty dope. Yeah. All right, guys. As usual, for
Graves,
myself,
you want to plug your stuff?
I'm done, man. I'm good.
Oh.
I'm chilling.
As usual, Chase, CR Media, ABJ, Anthony Blackwell Jr., Anthony Graves Podcast, Pro Wrestling Kingpin. Guys, it's been a pleasure. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us.
I don't know what I'm
make sure you guys come back next Tuesday night. And after WrestleMania season, we'll be back together on Sundays and doing it on regular on Sundays.
And I will say you have inspired me with your reaching out and getting some cooler names. I promised myself in June I'm going to start pulling the trigger, and maybe once a month I'm going to have like that heavyweight championship podcast. So starting in June, the ABJ podcast will branch out and get some new names.
Worst you can do is ask. And
That's
the worst
pretty much what I have to get over that fear and start doing. So starting in June, at least one podcast a month will have a name that will be like, ooh.
There you go. There you go. All right, guys. Goodbye. Good night. Shit.